TikTok time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching. Sometimes you're looking around and thinking, the world is all screwed up. Look at all the messed up stuff that's happening. Bad times, bad times. And then, you get a message from Jai saying, hey, Alex Jones is talking about the al-Zutt. And so, it's a good day, a good day. Any day someone sharing the story of the night of al-Zutt is a good day. Good day. How you doing, Jai?
Hey, what's up? What's going on? Yeah, someone forwarded me the link and they're like, yo, did you see Alex Jones talking about al-Zutt? And I was like, nope. And as soon as I saw that, I sent it over to David, I sent it over to you, and this is going to be a fun stream.
Yeah, guys. So, Alex Jones just kind of out of nowhere, as far as I know, just did a segment of a show talking about Muhammad and the night of al-Zutt, and he was covering. He went through a clip, not the way the men of al-Zutt went through Muhammad, but he went through a clip of that young guy. I forget what his name is. That young guy
Oh,
over.
yeah, the guy on TikTok. Yeah,
Yeah, the young guy on TikTok. I don't see a lot of
not sure.
TikTok unless someone sends me a specific video that we covered. But anyway, hey, what I know some of you guys are on TikTok. So who was that guy? The young guy who made a TikTok video about the night of al-Zutt, and then it got like millions of views, and it got like a bunch on X as well. Who was that? Who was that? And I'm just saying that because I want to give him a shout out here for anyone who wants to follow that. I guess I could look it up
Yeah,
because we
no.
did talk about it before. Come on,
Yeah.
guys. Tell me what his name is. One of you knows. I'll ban all of you.
Catholic Sam doesn't sound like that's the guy.
Oh,
Jesus and
two
whatnot.
people said
Yeah, Jesus
Jesus
and
and
whatnot.
whatnot.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
that's his. I guess that's his TikTok channel. If anyone knows his actual name, so we know what we're talking about. But anyway, Alex was playing part of his video and played some of mine, and had Raymond Ibrahim on there as well. So it says his name's Dia Al Kalbi. Okay, thank you for solving that mystery. All right, guys. So Alex started talking about that and played some of our clips. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and check this out. And after we check this out, um, we're going to go over to X where Alex posted this because, believe it or not, you had some Muslims flipping out over this. And hey, Jai, I don't know if you've noticed this over on your channel, but ever since they attacked Chris in London, and then there's this. I'm trying to think of anything else, but Muslims over like the past 2 days on X have seemed like 20 times more aggressive than they were than they had been in the past. I'm like, it's just I can't even keep track of all of them coming after everyone and flipping
Yeah.
out and arguing with everybody right now. So something set them off. Something set them off.
Something in the water. Something in the water.
Something in the Zamzam water is turning the prophets gay.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, they feel. I think they feel emboldened because their friend got a cheap shot on up on Chris, so they feel emboldened. Maybe I don't know what it is, but yeah, I see that as well, especially on X.
They turned the frogs gay. Then the frogs jumped into the Zamzam well. Now the whole well is gay.
Yeah,
Turned their prophet gay, and then they're all drinking out of it.
yeah.
All right, guys. So anyway, yeah, we got some Muslims flipping out over Alex Jones posting that and saying all sorts of mean things. Mean things. We only like nice things. We only like nice things. We
Try to
like
be nice
we
people.
like
Yeah,
flowers, unicorns, stuff like that. And then but we have to deal with dawa, which is pretty stupid and can be very not nice. Can be very not nice. But we're going to check out some of the Muslim responses, and some of them are just like whining, but others are actually trying to respond to it. And so we're going to check out what the evidence is. and we want you guys to have the evidence. Like that dude from TikTok. That dude from TikTok. Um, he had clearly watched some of the live streams where Jai and DOC actually went through and responded to it, and were pulling up sources and pulling up the Arabic, lexicons and stuff like that, and going through because he was using some of that material and stuff like that. But guess what? That's what everyone needs to do, because not most of us aren't going to be able to go through that material. So when someone actually covers that material, and that's the response to the lie from the Dawa guy who responds and says, "Oh, the word just means crowding around." Ha ha ha. Most people don't know how to respond to that. So it's good when people have actually, pulled up the lexicons and stuff like that, and gone through the Muslim sources. Not the way the Zutt went through Muhammad, but go through the Muslim sources and see how the word is used. And so we get an idea of how it was used in 7th century Arabia and stuff like that. So anyway, point is, we're going to look at their responses, and then we'll go through some of that again. And Jai's gonna correct any mistakes and so on. But then you guys have it. And again, that's what we need. We need people screenshotting. You screenshot the refutation, and then you go over to Muslims who are using that supposed refutation, and busted, buddy. Busted. Just like Muhammad on the night of al-Zutt.
Yeah, yeah. There's all sorts of lies that they tell about it, and like you said, this Jesus and whatnot on TikTok, he preempted some of the responses, and so it's really good to get those out there even before the
Yep.
Muslim can
Smart.
object.
That's a smart. He's a smart dude.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and hats off to Alex Jones for
Yeah.
kicking that hornet's nest.
Yeah.
I guess he's never been shy about kicking hornet's nests and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna. So we'll take these first couple super chats, guys, and then we will go to Alex Jones's video. I saw this first, maybe, I don't know, 5-6 minutes of it or something like that. And he's playing clips and stuff like that. But I've seen the clips before, because one of them's my video, one's Raymond Ibrahim's video, and one's gosh, I can't remember that name, man.
Jesus and whatnot.
Jesus and whatnot. I need to put the link to his channel in the description box here when I get a chance. Anyway, so I didn't see the rest of it, but definitely funny stuff in there. So take these first couple super chats. D Wood hates the concept of time. Hey, they just made me. You were trying to call in, Jai, and then there was a delay, and then I had to hang up on you. They made me update. They made me update the program.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. I noticed
And
that.
now, hey, this is
Reset. Yeah.
now this is interesting. It's saying if you need to edit or style the text, double click the overlay. It has never said that to me before.
Yeah, even on my end, I can see like the eCam symbol.
Hey, don't be talking about someone's end. You're talking about Muhammad. It's going to offend someone.
Even from my perspective over here on the on the guest side, I see what.
It's never done that before. I mean, this may have always been available somewhere, but now it's telling me that I can change all this stuff. What is this? Text box.
They created some sort of update, because even over here, like I can see there's like different text, different fonts and stuff like that.
Oh, look at this. We got scrolling ticker. Text box dynamic.
A lot of stuff.
I don't know if I want to click on anything and it ruins something.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah, but I don't, what the heck did that do, though? I mean, it just changed it a little bit. But that was dynamic.
Okay.
What's all this other stuff do? Text margin.
Oh, you can increase. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I knew I could do that before. I could just do by like dragging that. Let's see. Background. Gradient.
Oh, you can change the transparent background, maybe, like the colors or something. Yeah, you're making it a little bit darker.
Hang on. I don't want to.
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get people to
Yeah, because I don't want grayscale. I want actual colors. It has them here. I definitely don't want to spend too much time on this. But well,
so now people are like, "You're live."
Well, I do like it because sometimes depending on what the background is, sometimes it's hard to. Hey, look at that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It's like fire, fire.
Fire, 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 fire.
Mhm.
All right, I'm probably going to stick with that, and then it'll probably annoy me later. What if I do this? Okay,
All right.
all right. That should make it a little easier to see. So again, sometimes depending on what the background is, it's hard to see what those are. Anyway, I'll mess with all this stuff later on. But
All right.
all right, okay, all right. Now I know I have more options on what to do. And again, this is probably always available, and I've been using this program for like
No,
since like
they
what, like
definitely did some sort
26,
of
10
update.
years.
They
Hmm?
yeah, they definitely did some sort of update. I can see it
Oh, I know. It's
from
just they made it like obvious how to do it. I'm just saying it was
yeah.
probably in the settings somewhere, something like that. What are we doing talking about this nonsense, man? When we got Muhammad on the
Yeah.
night of al-Zutt.
We got Alex Jones tuning in for the first time to the stream, and we're like talking about changing the colors of the things and
They're turning all the colors gay. Anyway, D Wood hates the concept of time. Well, it's an oppressive tool of the white man. TikTok, the prophet got clocked by al-Zutt. That's true, he did. And we're about to see the proof. Alex Jones found you from TikTok. We need your videos in TikTok to reach the young people and the trans Muslim converts with the blue hair. Guys, we are invading TikTok here. We're going through a bunch of we got a bunch of stuff going on now where we're not it's not all clicking. We got a bunch of things to change and stuff, but should be up and running, should be fully up and running next month. So this coming month, April.
a
Should
lot
be
of
putting it all together.
transition, not in the Warner sense
Hmm.
happening, and it's gonna be really really cool. God willing, pretty
Hmm.
soon.
Yeah, and so we're first thing we're going to do is get multicam live call-in shows up and running. Then in May, the normal video new studio set for regular videos, and yep, sometime along there we will be invading TikTok, although not the way the al-Zutt invaded Muhammad. I've gotten the Muslims really mad on. I noticed, yeah. Hey, apostate of Allah. That's part of what I was thinking of when they seem more aggressive now. It's like, before you toss out a comment or something like this, you'll get a Muslim here responding, Muslim there responding. They are like pouncing, not like the al-Zutt pouncing on Muhammad, but they're doing it with people's posts and stuff like that. So, anyways,
Yeah,
interesting times. But
yeah.
apostate of
About all
Allah.
these new insults that Libiano has coined, all these new insulting things. I'm sure you've seen them. We don't need to repeat them, but yeah, there's a bunch of new insults that they're saying from coming from Libiano. He's popularizing them. So
Yep.
yeah, he's about to become a little bit more popular pretty soon.
Oh,
We'll
he
see.
is. He's going to go down in history. It's going to go down in history for assisting Malik in causing the biggest campaign of Quran desecration the world has ever seen. This is going to be all of 2026, guys. But Sarah says, I've gotten the Muslims really mad on X. The amount of times I've been called a ho is crazy, all because I'm excited for the Quran demo video. Lols. Yeah, they're flipping out about that. And I actually responded to someone saying, oh, you're a ho. And I was like, what do you think the al-Zutt called Muhammad, man? The Dawa guys are just butthurt, not in the Zut sense. Well, some of
Some
them
of them.
in the
Some
we've heard some of that. We've heard some of the stuff that goes on. Libiano accusing Life of monetizing the fight. Yeah, that was stupid. There was no there was no there was no monetization. He just said he's covering up any scenes with blood in them because YouTube will age restrict. Like AP's video, AP's live stream, it got
yeah.
age restricted. It's age restricted now because he showed the blood. So all all all
There's
Life
no
did,
paywall.
yeah,
There's
all
no pay.
Life did was say, hey, if you want to see the actual like picture with the blood, what it actually looked like, that's on page. It didn't cost anything. It's just click on it over there. And they're thinking, yo, he's monetizing it. This is the guy who was saying that? It was Ali Dawa, right?
Noah and Libiano, both of them. Which,
So
by
they're
the
both
way,
saying it. Wait,
look out
the same
for
Libiano said you have to pay to debate me or something like
yeah,
that. And,
2000. Yeah, he was telling some guy he needs to pay him $2,000 to debate him, and this guy's talking about
and then
monetizing.
Ali Dawa selling his Viagra. You got to get the Viagra. And who's funding the Uyghur genocide
Yeah,
just to make money off prayer mats?
so Ali Doa does a ad before the video, like it was like a 40-minute video that Ali Dawah just did, and it's full of mistakes, full of blunders. By the way, look out for Life. He's going to be coming out with a response. Also, Chris is coming out with a response. Probably both of them coming out tonight or maybe tomorrow, but look out for that. But he's talking about how, this was supposedly monetized or something, or it was behind a paywall because it was on Patreon. Patreon, you don't need to have a paywall just because on Patreon
There was no paywall. I clicked on it. I clicked on it. Yeah, I clicked on it.
You didn't have to pay a cent.
It was just Chris without the blood being covered up and so on.
And so Ali Dawah was setting it up like even I, Ali Dawah, even I felt bad for Chris. But here's his friend; he's trying to make money off of it. I'm thinking, wait a minute. But this video where you're saying you feel bad for Chris, even you, Ali Dawah, felt bad for Chris. You put an ad in the front of the video talking about your prayer mats and stuff like that. So you're trying to make money off of it as like you're actually trying to make money off of it. Whereas Life didn't actually charge anyone to see what he posted. He just didn't want to get like a violation or something on YouTube.
Yeah, these you got people in the super chat saying D Wood has no concept of time. These Dawah guys have no concept of consistency.
Yeah,
they'll accuse you of doing something. They'll accuse you of doing something that you're not doing, and they'll accuse you of doing it while they're literally doing it.
Yeah,
it's weird stuff, man.
Yeah, it's funny because in the video, Ali Dawah was saying, "You see, we're morally consistent. We're morally consistent, not strategically. We're morally consistent." And like that's one of his main things that he says. Like he's trying to be morally consistent through the video, and it's anyway. Yeah, you guys will see all the blunders.
Yeah, we'll have to check out some of that stuff there. Lo siento, I've been gone too long. Been fighting the Zutt cartels on the streets of Mexico. God bless you guys. Issa mi ceguera. Hey, Issa. And we have Momo got zooted and booted. That's what he got. Zooted and booted. Oh, I'm stealing that. Hang on. How have I not been saying zooted and booted? All right, we got zooted and booted. D Wood and Jai should make a cartoon of Muhammad's mishaps. D Wood, you should do the voices. You crack me up with your impressions. Yeah, I can't do like videos and stuff because that requires like programs, but I can do voices.
Yeah, by the way, there's a lot of Muslims who are fans of your impressions as well. So.
I saw that too. That was funny. Not gonna lie, that impression of Ali Dawah pretty dope. That's funny. But by the way, those are, apart from like people leaving Islam or converting to Christianity or something like that, my favorite comments are the ones from Muslims when they're like, okay, that was actually funny. Like in video where I'm like making fun of Muhammad, but they'll be like, okay, that was actually funny.
Yeah. Like they're grudge watching, but then they still are like complimenting and like I can't lie, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good.
They can't help it, man. They can't help it. It's pronounced Yarka boned when Muhammad does it. Yep, we're gonna be. Don't worry, we'll be getting there because I'm sure that's something they're gonna object to. They're making the Ummah gay. Zam Waters making the Ummah gay. Alex L. Jones. Dr. Wood, are you done with responses against the bad behavior against your fam from the real antisocials? Are you joking? You seem to have chilled out on it. Christ is king. Yeah, let me break it down for you. Two of my favorite things to do in the world. And they seem to be kind of connected, but one, I like periodically putting something out there, giving people a ton of ammunition to attack me with, and then they think, ha, we finally got him, he's destroyed, and then to come back and not be destroyed, right? And then to use it all to destroy Muhammad. It's like, that's one of my favorite things in the world. Guys, you can say, I'm like clockwork. It's about every 2 to 3 years I do that. I'll like, hey, here's a bunch of info to attack me with. And they'll flip out, we got him now. And then I use it to wreck them. That's always fun. So that is fun. And the other thing that's really fun is I just chill out and they think it's over. It's not over. I like, let's just calm down. Nope, let's dial it up to 10 all of a sudden. That is fun stuff. No, guys, this is permanent. And you're about to see. They're turning the prophet gay. They are. Too late. I say we need to push more hadiths while we're on a roll, like the al-Zutt war compilation, al-Zutt, D-Hell, Kalbi, the spit leakers. Yo, we also, that's something I was wondering, like, we need to pick what we want to cover this year. There's certain things we actually want to cover this year. Muhammad in the Bible, satanic verses and things like that. But as far as just something that's hilarious and disturbing, we got to figure out what we want to do. So, matter of fact, Jai, you're the one who'd be doing some of the translating and stuff. We could either go Muhammad the cross-dresser, all these passages about Muhammad being in his wife's clothing, and it's the same thing. We could give you the benefit of the doubt and say, oh yeah, there being in Aisha's garment means being in Aisha's house, or it just means blanket or something like that. They want us to give the benefit of the doubt when it just said Muhammad was in his wife's clothing. And it's just, okay, you guys are compulsive liars, and we told you, quit lying. And if you don't stop lying, we're not going to lie in response, but we will stop giving the benefit of the doubt. We'll just go with what these passages mean. So we've got that. We've got Muhammad sleeping with Ali's mother after she died and so on. So we've got that. We got a couple of issues. We got a few issues like that. But we need to pick one to really, really popularize it in 2026, like the al-Zutt last year.
I was just talking on this today with DOC. We were literally just talking about this today. There's Yasser Qadi talks about, okay, so there are books that are called the problematic hadiths or the problematic traditions, and they're like all in Arabic, and they're just like going over like problematic hadith number 1, here's how we respond, and problematic hadith number 2. And Yasser Qadi was talking about how those are problematic. Like they've become problematic because they give rise to issues that people didn't know existed. So what we're thinking was, we're just going to go through one of those big books, like, and just go through like the top 10 of like what the Muslims consider to be the most problematic hadith. Like it's so yeah, we're definitely some of the things you mentioned as well are in there, but there's other things in there that we don't even know about that exists in the Muslim sources. So yeah, definitely.
So guys, we should, you know what? I'm a big believer in the people. Big believer in the people. Maybe we'll we'll come up with like the top 10 list, and then we'll put a vote out there. Hey guys, what do you want us to really popularize this year? We can do it. We'll make it happen. Mo may not have split the moon. The Zutt sure did. Yep, they split Momo's moon. Almost seemed like Orthoducklips and Ali wanted us to be mad and rip up Qurans instead of light-hearted jokes about Chris. Silly, ain't it? Did they?
So if you watched the whole like 40-minute thing, which I didn't, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch the whole 40-minute thing. I kind of like sped through it. But if you kind of what they want you to walk away with is that basically Chris got himself hit to avoid debating Libiano. That's kind of like.
Are you kidding me? Chris was standing there. It was David, and it was after the guy repeatedly punched David in the face. Then tried to run away like a little coward. And then Chris says, "What are you doing?" He turns around and punches Chris. So this is Chris trying to avoid a debate. Chris went there specifically challenging him to a debate.
That's how they're framing it. Yeah, they're framing it like that. And so they actually should challenge Chris.
That's what you get.
And they should have challenged Chris, and they told him that, hey, you set the place, we're going to come meet you. And so they're actually still wanting to frame it like he's the one running from debates. There you go.
Got the Arabic there, guys. Still think I've chilled out? D-Wood didn't chill out. D-Wood likes it when people think he chilled out. You've never seen me chilled out, guys. You've only seen me pretending to be chilled out. Yep. Yeah. But nope, guys. No, that's
what they're referring to. Specifically, what they're referring to is Life. So they played like Life's video where Life went over what happened as well, and he was like kind of like he had a phone call with Chris and with UK David, and he I think he like they played like a portion of it when he was like kind of like laughing with them, and they were saying like, oh, look at his friends are even clowning him, like, this is so yeah, Lex was saying, like, lighthearted jokes, like they were upset about that. Uh, I think, yeah, the response that they wanted was like, oh, we should, like, I don't know I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, they had all sorts of different like things that they were trying to present in that video that they did. That was one of the things that they tried to present, that like Chris's friends don't really care about him. We're just trying to like monetize this thing, and
Are
we're
they
like
are
making
they are they joking? We will go to war. There is no scenario, guy. There is. See, here's what happens. Someone will punch Chris in the face, and then they'll all post the pictures and laugh and mock. Oh, Chris's nose died for our sins, and they're mocking both Chris and Christianity. And then and then that's when they all get more aggressive, because they're like, oh yeah, now we got the momentum going because now we started attacking people and stuff. And it's like, guys, that whole situation where you try to make a win out of this. You try to give yourselves a W for taking a swing, and now you guys are all, ha ha, now we're all happy. Those are the situations where there's no scenario where I'm going to allow you to regard punching a Christian apologist in the face as a win. And I will escalate as much as I need to, for as long as I need to, for you to look back at that and go, that was one of the most disastrous and stupid things we've ever done. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. I'll spend 20 years doing that, guys. I'll spend 20. I pointed out before when people were like, "Why'd you rip up the Quran in response to that guy?" Oh, that was still from Muhammad Hijab from 6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
We ain't forgetting. We ain't forgetting.
No. Yeah, so they just completely, like, they're intentionally misrepresenting things as well, and they're also lying about things. But yeah, that's one of the narratives they're running with,
Yeah.
that people don't really care, and they're just trying to monetize it and all that other stuff.
Yeah, and with that said, it's not like, oh, I'm all broken up over a bloody nose. I mentioned to Chris, like, I was growing up, like I had a bloody nose like 2 or 3 times a
Right.
week from fighting in the trailer park and so on. So it's not like, oh no, blood, oh my goodness, it's the end of the world. Like you got punched, and you guys are, these other guys are running their mouths about it, and that's not gonna last. That's not gonna last. Dawa is consistently inconsistent. Yes, that's the only thing they're consistent at. How you like my profile pic? That's good. No, that's a good. You got a good one. You got the sombrero. You got the taco there. The only food I eat: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tacos.
Hey, you should the background to the super chats, you should make it like the Mexican flag, like a background.
Ooh, oh yeah, yeah. I have to mess with this because I only saw it once we clicked, once we were live. But apparently,
Yeah.
it's like they give this huge menu of all this stuff I can do, and so it's gonna
Yeah,
be
you
fun
can
stuff.
definitely make a Mexican flag out of that.
Studio Ghibli Muhammad anime. Oh, is that for making the cartoons and I do the voices? Instead of Revenge of the Nerds, could do a skit called Revenge of the al-Zutt. Well, the al-Zutt, we're not nerds. Revenge of the al-Zutt. Yeah, we could do something. I really don't care what they call me. I've been called worse by blood. I just find it funny that Muslims can't figure out that their sick behavior doesn't do what they think it does. Yeah, I know. And yeah, and really, really, apostate of Allah, when they're coming at you like that, when they're just going after you with endless every name they can think of, that means they're worried about you.
Yeah.
That means they're worried about you, and they're trying things, and that's what they do with women. And everything's different. Everything's different with. I mean, some of the stuff's the same, right? Like if they don't like what we're doing, they go down a list. Okay, let's try threats. Let's try insult. And they go down a list of things that are all trying to make you uncomfortable exposing their fake prophet. That's what they do. With women, they just have extra things they go after, right? So they'll threaten women with other things and use different kinds of names and stuff like that. But it's all pathetic. It's all pathetic. And they still don't realize that works with certain people. It has the opposite effect with other people. And I'm guessing Sarah's in it will have the opposite of their intended effect category.
Yeah, they're bullies, and they're just using bait. It's like they're trying to, what sticks. Like, okay, if you respond to this thing, then okay, that's what they're going to keep saying. So like if you respond to one thing and they see, oh, it got to her or it got to him, then they're gonna keep going saying it
Yep.
over and over and over
That's
and
what they're
over
doing.
again.
That's what they're doing. Like all this
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, doxing. Okay, is that working? Oh, let's try this. Oh, let's try that. Okay, doxing. This person isn't working. What if we do it this? What if we go after this person's wife? What if we try this? They're obsessed with finding like a lever to control it
Yeah.
and to control people, and you just can't do it because the moment someone says, "Okay, we'll do what you want, Dawa guy, we'll do what you want," then everyone, all these Dawa clowns are going to be doing it. So, yep, but
That's right.
I don't realize this stuff doesn't work with everybody here. Aussie Abe said, my new catchphrase that naturally came out, not in the Zut sense, in a convo, pretend for a minute that you are not a Muslim and you can understand logic. But it's kind of hard for them to role play like that, though. 2026 is a real exodus for Islam. I wonder what other type of Quran maleaking we'll see this year. Only low IQ goons are left believing. Yeah, they're getting down to the kind of bottom of the barrel in terms of who's still out there defending this stuff. Been away for a while. Didn't get to hear out Jay. Sorry for off topic, but can you guys please shortly talk a bit about your journey? Sounds interesting. Stay safe, y'all. What's he talking about?
Or oh, does he like us coming from the UK? Is that our journey, or or is it me and David's journey? I'm not sure.
We don't know what you're talking about, Mosh.
Maybe because he's been away, he didn't see. I'm not sure. Yeah,
We'll see.
we'll have
Yeah,
to
we'll see. But yeah, we'll have other
little.
live streams where we can update you on anything you want stuff. But we're about to jump into some of this stuff. Mohammed, the LGBTQIA2 plus prophet. Yeah, he was. Sorry if it's been asked already. I'm not too active on YouTube, but what's the deal with you and Sam Shamoon? Well, I'm not associating with people whose behavior is beyond. I mean, if your behavior is too screwed up for me, yeah. But yeah, we did a whole live stream on it. If you're interested, go look it up. Go check it out. Other than that, not terribly interested in talking about stuff. Hijab responding to Gad's sad claimed whites overrepresented per capita for sex offenses in UK, but Pakistanis
Ooh,
underrepresented. What kind of stupid nonsense
that's
is that?
that's not someone you want to get into a like a stats war with, Muhammad Hijab. You know, I was gonna say he should stick to his lane, but he doesn't really have a lane anymore. He's just kind of like just hoping something. He's another guy who just hopes something sticks. But Gad is way too smart for Muhammad
Well,
Hijab.
yeah, he's way smarter than
Yeah,
Mohammed Hijab.
it's not gonna go well for him. Uh,
Been catching up on your lives. Chris stumbling onto screen with a bloody nose, sounding all out of breath. Called the police, never fails to make me laugh. I was worried up until that point. Then I practically fell off my chair laughing. No, it was, I mean, he got busted, but the whole scene of like Chris then holding the guy on the ground and stuff like that. And yeah, someone took a swing, then he got balled up, and then Muslims helped him escape, and then they covered up the evidence. They tried to
yeah,
cover up, they tried to delete as much or
yeah,
privatize as much content as they could to keep people from putting the clips together and seeing who was doing what and so on. So they're trying to turn this into a win instead of them being pathetic cowards who refuse to debate and so on. But
mm,
yep, all right, we ready to get into this?
not in
Not in
the
the
other.
Zoot sense.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, let's check out Mr. Alex Jones. Going to be talking
Yes.
about turning the prophets gay.
It's in the hadiths and it mentions the events when he became superhuman. This particular tribe that was there that was black were known for their prowess. And it says Muhammad rode 30 men and got their power.
No. Just to be clear, they rode Muhammad, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
rode Muhammad, but look at
Something about
it.
his voice, like
Look,
like how he narrates stories. Just I don't know what it is about. It makes me laugh so much. Like just now he's talking about a Zut, and it's like it just doubles that laughter. So yeah,
and it's
sorry
funny
about
is like look at his face right there. Like he clearly finds this amusing, as he should.
that. Wait,
Um,
but what? How did he say it in the tweet? He said like historians have discovered.
oh yeah, hang on. Well,
Yeah, but that's
we'll
because
we'll
that
check it
part
out
is
here. We'll check it out here We'll check it out
Okay.
here in a bit, but I'll just read it real quick. Oh yeah, major historic development. Major historic development. I can't read his post without thinking of his voice. Major historic development. Researchers have discovered the source of the Prophet Muhammad's superhuman strength. According to holy Islamic writings, Prophet Muhammad received a powerful injection from 30 black men that gave him the strength of 30 men. Watch, share the live X stream here. Oh, a lot of us have been sharing it, Alex. Good stuff, good stuff. Let me back this thing up. Not the way Muhammad backed it up the night of al-Zutt, but
it's in the Hadiths, and it mentions the events when he became superhuman. This particular tribe that was there that was black were known for their prowess, and it says Muhammad rode 30 men and got their power.
You're right. He is funny the way he narrates, right? Yeah. This is how he became superhuman. People wonder, how did he become the Superman of sex, having sex with 9 women and girls all in the same night? How did he do it? This introduces us to a new supplement. Call it Zoot Juice. You buy it here, my store.
He probably would too. He probably would.
Hey, he does have his own supplement line, and we can't call it Zoot Juice. You just can't do it because who wants to drink that? But if you called it Zoot Energy, and it's got the energy to keep you going all night long, people would definitely buy that. So if he actually has a company to do all his stuff, I actually looked it up. You can come up with your own like energy drink and stuff like that. The problem is we don't actually want to sell it in stores and stuff like that. We just want to have some of them, right? So I have to see
I've seen that there's a comedian on TikTok. He does that. He gets these cans of these really weird something you would never see in a store anywhere. He gets them custom printed on there. We could definitely do something like that. Yeah. But there would only be like one in existence or something like that. But yeah, you could make it happen. Yeah.
So again, can't call the energy drink Zoot Juice, but can call it Zoot Energy. So there's that. And then if we had one of those energy bars or protein bars or something like that, call it Bustin' a Zutt. No, that wouldn't work.
Oh.
We gotta. Oh, 30, hey,
it has to be 30 grams of protein on there.
30 grams of protein. 30 grams of protein. Busting a Zutt. Busting a Zutt bar. We're gonna be billionaires. This is gonna fund all the apologetics in the world. Mosh replied. He said, "I met Jai's story. Sounds like Arabic mother tongue and has a bit of a British touch. So I'm curious to hear his story, please and thank you." That's what we all thought. We all thought Jai was Arab, some sort of Arab, something like that. Turned out not to be so. We've got stuff to cover now, Jai, but if you want to give Mosh since he's been out of the loop for a little bit, you want to give him the super short version?
We have a stream. We did a stream, go back a couple streams back on our channel where we did a face reveal, and we kind of addressed all that. Yeah, so definitely for time's sake, yeah.
All right, so you can get it there. Mosh.
It was kind of face reveal or something like that. Was face reveal,
and that's when everyone was shocked that Jai is not Arab. He is in fact super white. All right, here we go.
Is that real? No, it's real.
The Prophet Muhammad had intercourse with 30 black men in one night. The story is narrated by Ibn Masud, a close friend of Prophet Muhammad. He says that one night, Prophet Muhammad took him out to the desert and drew a line in the sand and told him not to cross it. Muhammad then says that if he does cross the line, he will perish or be punished. Once it becomes nighttime, Ibn Masud narrates that a bunch of black people came out with their hair and their bodies fully exposed, not wearing any clothes. Ibn Masud then says, and again, I'm not joking, that they came and started writing the messenger of Allah all night long. Many Muslims will try and say that this hadith is not authentic, but keep in mind, it was written by a friend of Muhammad. Not to mention, it's not only in one hadith, but two. Other Muslims will try and claim that this word writing doesn't actually mean writing. However, other Islamic texts literally use the exact same Arabic word to describe riding an animal. Not to mention, the same phrase is also used as a euphemism for intercourse. This Arabic dictionary literally defines it as having intercourse.
Jai, can you verify what this guy's saying about this stuff?
Yes, I'm looking at the same exact slides that he just put on the screen there, and 100% correct.
Huh. This gets young bucks making some good points over there and crushing it on TikTok.
Good job, man. Good job.
It is awesome that the story of the men of al-Zutt, what they did to Muhammad, is becoming popular among the young generation over there on TikTok. That's good.
So that's like the TikTok. This is like the TikTok style. So when we start doing TikTok videos, this is how you have to, you're like, the stuff's right behind you, and you're like kind of like narrating.
And I got to be like this. Hey, so right here, here's where we got.
That's what really takes off. Like you can see, he's like, that's for some reason that's what you do on TikTok.
It works.
So, yeah.
It works. TikTok works, man.
Yeah.
Can work for
Good
evil.
job.
Can work for
Good job.
evil for people who are spreading nonsense. Can work for good to people who are spreading the story of the men of al-Zutt, like the men of al-Zutt spread Muhammad's cheeks.
He defines it as having intercourse. It only gets worse from there because we actually know why Muhammad would want to be ridden by all of these men. You see, there was a myth going around in Muhammad's time that said if you receive the semen from another man, you are actually able to have the same strength as that man.
Yeah, it's his seed being injected into you and stuff like that, and this will cause you to blossom into a man as strong as the one who is injecting you. And so, if you buy that myth, and you can see from the Muslim sources, there's kind of nothing that Muhammad wouldn't just believe. That's why they called him the ear. Matter of fact, it specifically says they called him the ear because he would believe anything anyone would tell him. And so he hears the story about being able to have another man's virility injected into you, and by golly, he decided he would be the strongest, most powerful man ever.
Yep.
Be able to do it all in one night. It's like it's funny because Alex Jones talking about here's how he got his superpowers. That would be funny, because it is like a parallel with like a comic or a Marvel movie, like a Marvel movie setup where here's this thing you do, and all of a sudden you get all these extra powers, and then you have to figure out how to use your new powers and so on. So Muhammad figures out how to, Spider-Man got bit by the spider. Muhammad got injected by 30 men of al-Zutt, and then Spider-Man could go around being a hero, and Muhammad could bang all 9 wives in one night and so on. Good stuff.
So we're gonna this will probably come up later, but so in the story itself, it doesn't give you the number of men, but how David kind of figured that out was that he's said to have the strength of 30 men and other narrations, and there was this prevailing myth that existed that if a man enters into another man, then he gets his strength. So the idea is if he has the strength of 30 men, well, if that's the myth that's going around, and we have this story about there are these, men like the men of al-Zutt who have rode Muhammad all night long, well, then the idea is that that's how we got that strength of 30 men. So there's number 30 that you'll get from there.
A hypothesis is stronger the more evidence it can explain, right? So we have Muhammad's companions bragging about him having the strength of 30 men, the sexual strength of 30 men, and so on. And you're thinking they would be saying this in the context of Muhammad having sex with 9 or 11 of his wives in a single night. It's like, okay, well, why don't you, a man can have sex with one woman with no problem. So if Muhammad's having sex with 9, why would you say he's got the strength of 30 men? Why are you saying 30 men?
Yeah.
Well, if that's how many men injected Muhammad with their strength on the night of al-Zutt, then that explains where the number came from. Also, I want you Muslims out there, I want you Muslims to recognize something. I'm actually being generous in my interpretation here, because you could read the story of Muhammad on the night of al-Zutt and just say he liked getting banged out in the desert, right? You can interpret it that way. He was doing this for his own gratification. He liked being ridden by dozens of black dudes out in the desert, right? You could interpret it that way. I'm actually saying, nope, Muhammad had an important goal in mind. He wasn't doing it just because he liked it. He was doing it for a purpose. He's taken one for the team. He's taken one for the team, right? So that he can become a super powerful and super virile, super manly prophet. So I'm actually attributing something beyond he was just into that sort of thing. So you guys shouldn't be condemning me. You should be thanking me. Just remember that.
I remember learning about that in school, like that there were some like tribes, like native tribes that would like in like they found out that like the older men would do that to like the boys when they were becoming men to like make them into men. And so what IP found was that that was like really prevalent in Muhammad's time, like all around like the Eastern world. Like that was like very like a common thing.
Really creepy stuff.
Yeah. So it's not. So yeah. So that's the idea there, guys. So.
And I've got an entire video where I actually go through, not the way, they went through Muhammad, but I actually go through the sources on this weird practice in the ancient world, this weird belief.
This is so important because the Hadith says that the people Muhammad slept with were as if they were Zutt. This is a reference to the al-Zutt, who were known for their sexual prowess and strength.
Imagine a man who's known as the ear, hearing about men injecting their manliness and virility into boys. Suppose this man wants to become the most virile, masculine, potent man on the planet. How would he go about that? He would assemble a team of men known for their sexual prowess. The men who were most famous for their sexual prowess were the men of al-Zutt.
That's true.
Al-Zutt are also depicted as being very sexual and virile, with very large penises.
The men of al-Zutt transfer their virility and man.
That's funny. He did that. I had a modified version of that with Muhammad on there, but that's them putting this up here.
Into Muhammad, the messenger of Allah went off a stone's throw away. Then he, Abdullah, mentioned a group of male members who looked like Zutt people.
Oh yeah, people saying, why does David sound like Mike Winger in this video? Yeah, they did. Some people for like if they're worried about copyright or something like that, will change the voice a little bit, speed it up like 5 or 10% or something like that, and it sounds different.
Didn't have any clothes on. They came and started to ride the messenger of Allah. The men of al-Zutt rode Muhammad all night long. 30 men of al-Zutt gathered in the desert and injected their masculinity into the Prophet of Islam, making him the most powerful man in the world.
Well, they say Lindsey Graham's like a vampire.
Hey, that was on TikTok, man.
Yep. What?
My video there, that's a TikTok version. It's got TikTok in the corner.
I can't see the channel, but there's
What's
like a little
say?
ad there. It should say if it's Jesus and whatnot, it's from his video. If it's someone else's, it's just a.
No, it says something
Looks
else. I can't see what it says.
Yeah,
Either. Super small.
There you go. You're all over TikTok, and you're on the Alex Jones. First time on the Alex Jones show. Look at that.
Man, 2026. D Woods all over TikTok. D Woods in this Alex Jones video. Guys, can't stop the story of al-Zutt now. Too late. You should have listened for the 3 years when I was warning you to stop lying about certain things. Should have listened.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Because you mentioned that you've heard this story of al-Zutt like years ago, and it wasn't until recently when you're like, all right, we're gonna finally, we're gonna do this now.
Time to popularize.
So,
and that was hats off to Raymond Ibrahim, because I'd heard it, but I would hear it from the Arabic speakers, right? And I didn't have a lot of content. I mean, I could have like sought it out and requested it and put it together and stuff, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't care too much about that stuff. But nope. Eventually, people were crossing too much lines, and Raymond Ibrahim came out with a video talking about the sources and stuff, and it was just, yeah, this is a good time to pull the trigger on this one.
I mean, it's just another example of the Dawa guys messing up. Just another example.
They screw up like clockwork.
Yeah, like look at all the millions of people who know about al-Zutt now because of the Dawa guys. It's like it's wow.
They are tactical morons. There's no other way to describe them.
Powerful man in the world.
Well, they say Lindsey Graham's like a vampire.
How so?
He doesn't drink blood, he drinks semen.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh,
what is that?
I mean, I wouldn't be.
Does anyone know what that's about? Like, I don't know if they just don't like Lindsey Graham and they just toss random insult, or if something happened with Lindsey Graham or something like that. I don't even know. Because I told you, I watched the first few minutes of this, so I saw this and I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about. But
was he saying that's Muhammad or something? Like he's
that's what I mean. I was talking about Muhammad and al-Zutt, and they're like, hey, what about Lindsey Graham? Hey, he's like a vampire. He's like a vampire? Yeah, instead of drinking blood. Ugh. Don't know what that's about. Maybe someone else does.
I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
What's that?
You know, to Muhammad's credit, like if he did that, he didn't always drink it. Sometimes it was all over his clothes as well. Like there's narrations about that actually, that it would be stuck on his clothes, and he would go to pray, and his child bride would have to clean it off his shirt. So, you know, just for the record.
Pretty gross.
You know, in the Quran, did you know that Muhammad had his superpowers because 30 black men inseminated him?
And that's Lindsey Graham's following that?
No, I mean, people don't know this. I say that. I think I'm going to play clips out of the Quran tomorrow.
Is that real?
Yeah.
That's what's funny. He was talking about he was going to play this stuff tomorrow, but then he's like, you want me to read them? Want me to read some stuff? So anyway, he had the clips ready, but then he starts playing them here, but he was apparently, this was yesterday, and so he was talking about he was going to be doing this again and going through these. So I don't know if he was just, oh, okay, I already covered it here. But in context, he was talking about, here's what I'm going to cover in a different stream. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know if he's going to be covering it again or if he just like, I'm just going to do it now. But let's see.
Well,
okay. I don't know anything about that.
Oh, you want to see the clips?
Kind of, yeah. I've never heard that.
There you go. It's in there, and it's in the hadiths, too. Oh, the hadiths have even greater. You know what? Get this ready. We had it last week on Play It. Well, this is the most shocking thing I've heard about Muhammad. That's the name of it. It's Blake S. Taylor. That's in there. I read it myself.
Blake. I wonder if Blake is the guy's name.
So we think stuff's new under the sun. No, it's not.
No, it's not at all. And of course,
he did the original BBC gangbangs. Muhammad did.
Oh, God. I just got it. I was thinking BBC. I was thinking the news show, but that stands for something. Big black something. When people are posting it, they're not talking about the BBC. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
They're not just marrying.
Yeah, so in the UK, when you there's a news organization called. So he's not talking about the news organization.
He's not talking about that. He's talking about something else.
5-year-olds, bro.
Wow,
5-year-old girls. I mean, that's he did the original BBC gangbangs. Muhammad did. They're not just marrying 5-year-olds, bro.
Wow,
5-year-old girls. I mean, that's just part of it.
Oh, now you're making me think Lindsey Graham might be onto something.
Is he trying to gain the strength of what?
Who's Lindsey Graham? Is that like a artist or something like that, or is
no? He's a politician. He's like I think
he's
a
politician. Oh,
yeah,
okay. I thought it was.
I don't think he's a governor because he does. I'm guessing senator. I'm guessing senator, guys. I don't follow that stuff too much, but I think he's a senator, U.S. senator, Republican senator. But yeah, apparently Alex Jones, not a big fan.
Well, he's the main funder of Al-Qaeda and ISIS. That's come out in Congress now.
Right. Well, and of course, we had a big part in the overthrow of.
Remember the Pritzkers and people going, oh, I got boys with toys. I mean, with little boys in Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah.
The Islamic culture is pedophilia.
Yeah.
And so.
Good point. And sometime this year, I'm going to debate Mary Harb on the topic, is Islam more gay or pedophilic? That's the debate. We both agree that Islam is both gay and pedophilic. But the question is, which is it more of? And that's where we're going to have to get to the bottom of things. Not in the Zutt sense, but
yeah, you
Alex
never know.
right.
Your opening statement might end up on the Alex Jones show or something like that.
Who knows what that scepter means?
Well, Lindsey Graham. I mean, he's just a repulsive person, and the fact that he has remained in power for so long.
It's seriously funny to me because, again, I don't know what this is about.
Yeah.
But it's funny they're talking about Muhammad and the men of al-Zutt. And then,
Yeah.
and Lily and Lindsey Graham and Muhammad is getting banged. Hey, like Lindsey Graham. Ah.
Yeah, they're like carrying on two conversations at once that like are completely, as far as we're aware, completely unrelated. But they're linking them.
Really?
They're linking them together.
An indictment of the good people of South Carolina. Y'all gotta get this guy
Well, by
out.
the way, listeners, I'm not joking when I just said that about Muhammad. It's in the hadiths, and it mentions the events when he became superhuman. This particular tribe that was there that was black were known for their prowess, and it says Muhammad rode 30 men and got their power.
No, 30 men rode him and gave their power to him
Yeah.
through his bottom.
Is that real?
No, it's real.
The guy just said that's not real. It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
I don't
Guys,
take
how
your
can
word
you get
for
the video? How fast?
it.
That's funny. He wasn't planning on playing it until the next day. But this guy's like, that's not real. Like, what? You think it's not real? Hey, how quickly can you get this video ready?
I wonder if they had it ready or they looked it up. Like real quick, like Muhammad and al-Zutt or something like that. Google it.
No, it's this one right here. This one right here. Well, this is the most shocking thing I've heard about Muhammad. This one right here.
So that's the name of the video.
Oh, you have another one about that. Well, go ahead and play the other one we have that. Go ahead and roll it.
Know that the Prophet Muhammad had intercourse with 30 black men in one night. The story is narrated by Ibn Masud, a close.
This is not us replaying it. This him. I guess they took parts of the clip and then put them at the beginning of the video as like the teasers and stuff. But yeah, we kind of already seen this. But hey, we can watch this 50 times for all I care.
Friend of Prophet Muhammad. He says that one night Prophet Muhammad took him out to the desert and drew a line in the sand and told him not to cross it.
They call that the Diddy line.
Muhammad then says that if he does cross the line, he will perish or be punished. Once it becomes nighttime, Ibn Masud narrates that a bunch of black people came out with their hair and their bodies fully exposed. Now,
and guys, that if you cross this line, you'll be destroyed. The meaning seems to be if you cross this line, this Diddy line of consent here, you cannot absorb all this manliness the way I can. They'll just destroy you. I'm the only one who can receive this much manliness injected straight into him. So it's like that first Captain America movie where they have the super soldier serum. Muhammad wants the super soldier serum, right? So you had, matter of fact, that'd be a funny video. I'll take the clip because that's Chris. Gosh, everyone's named Chris. There's Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine, Chris Evans. Is that Chris Evans? I think the actor is Chris Evans. So he got in awesome shape and got all shredded up and stuff like that. But they used CGI to make him this tiny little skinny just tiny little skinny guy and stuff like that. But he wants to fight. He wants to be a soldier. And like, you're too weak. You're too small and weak. And so he volunteers to receive this super soldier serum. And they're like, no, it's killing him. It's killing him. He's like, no, don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. But that's like Muhammad, right? So that's like Muhammad. It's like, hey, the rest of you can't take this. The rest of you can't take this. But Muhammad can. And that's why he becomes Captain Arabia. How Muhammad became Captain Arabia. I could just use clips from that movie.
Wearing any clothes. Ibn Masud then says, and again, I'm not joking, that they came and started writing the messenger of Allah all night long. Many Muslims will try and say that this hadith is not authentic, but keep in mind, it was written by a friend of Muhammad. Not to mention, it's not only in one hadith, but two. Other Muslims will try and claim that this word riding doesn't actually mean riding. However, other Islamic texts literally use the exact same Arabic word to describe riding an animal. Not to mention, the same phrase is also used as a euphemism for intercourse. This Arabic dictionary literally defines it as having intercourse.
Guys, this is a good video. This is a good video to share, and this was posted on X a while back, but then there's the
TikTok
original on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's a good video because he's preempting the most common, like 3 or 4 objections that they use for this. He's preempting them, so so by the time people are trying to respond, they can't even use their stupid objections.
Exactly. Well, you know what it is? Most of the time, Muslims won't even watch the video, but it prepares you guys for like the answers. Like, you know, so when you guys see some of the comments will be like, they'll be just repeating what he just refuted, and they will like, watch the video, like just watch the video because that's, you know, Muslims are known for that. They're just they see the title of it and they just comment without actually watching.
And they give whatever response they've been told to give, right? And it's it's like when you say, it's like when someone completely clueless still says there's only one Quran, and then we say no, there's a bunch of Qurans. Like instantly Muslims will start saying no, it's just different dialects. They've been told to say that as soon as someone starts talking about, well, what about Hafs and Warsh and all then they're just programmed to say nope, it's just different dialects, even though they're saying that to the wrong people, because now we've got people who just pull up the different Qurans and go, really? Is this a contradiction? How's that a difference of dialect? But,
it only gets worse from there, because we actually know why Muhammad would want to be ridden by all of these men. You see, there was a myth going around in Muhammad's time that said if you receive the semen from another man, you are actually able to have the same strength as that man. This is so important because the hadith says that the people Muhammad slept with were as if they were Zutt. This is a reference to the al-Zutt, who were known for their sexual prowess and strength. So Muhammad, police be upon him, or I guess al-Zutt be upon him, was trying to gain the strength of these al-Zutt. This is probably why Sahih al-Bukhari brags that the Prophet had the strength of 30 men. Actually, no, he didn't just have it, he was given it. You would probably expect someone to be extremely exhausted from all of this riding, and that's exactly what Muhammad experienced. He returned very weary and exhausted due to what he had ridden. Poor Muhammad, he probably needed some comforting after that, which is exactly why Muhammad then puts his head into the lap of his friend and falls asleep there. Seems like maybe Muhammad was looking for a little bit more al-Zutt. Keep in mind, Muslims, Muhammad is the perfect example of how we are to live. I can't wait to see all of you getting zooted this Ramadan. God bless.
Whoa.
Dang.
So that's another.
That was cold as ice.
Yeah, wow.
No, yeah, but I mean, because you think, oh, why is he saying they should get zooted? But he just pointed out he's the pattern. He's the pattern of conduct. So if you think this guy's a pattern of conduct, and what did he do? What did your perfect example of your perfect pattern of conduct do? Well, he had a bunch of men inject their manliness into him so he could be more manly.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, the Afghani's been trying that for a long time. All right, so that's the TikTok video Alex Jones just watched, and let's see what happens. I don't know if they just jump straight to my video or if they start talking for a while. Let's see.
All right, let's go to one more, okay? Let's go to one more. This is from their holy books on the Quran. And
not as holy as Muhammad was on the night of al-Zutt.
Oh, man.
Come on, Alex. You're just setting me up for this.
Come on, Alex.
Speaking of holy.
it's all documented. Here it is.
Muhammad was famous among his followers for being able to handle 9 or even 11 women and girls in a single night. Consider a few passages. Sahih al-Bukhari, 5068. Narrated Anas, the Prophet used to go
Check
round.
this over. Because of Trump has this time machine now.
He's talking during the video. And he starts talking about Trump for some reason. I'm trying to figure out what he was saying while this is going on. We'll start over. I think he said start it over. Let's see.
Muhammad was famous among his followers for being able to handle 9 or even 11 women and girls in a single night. Consider a few passages. Al-Bukhari, 5068, narrated Anas, the Prophet used to go
Start
round.
this over. Because of, Trump
You
has
can
this.
hear the other dude cracking up laughing. Look at that. You can hear him.
Yeah, he said, "There's Muhammad," and then the other guy started laughing. And
There's your prophet. There's your prophet, Muslims. Sam water turned him gay.
Time machine now. They control time and space, they said. They had a time machine, went back 1,500 years ago to Muhammad when this happened. Actual photo taken by the time explorers when they were there. Let's put that on screen. There's a photo of Muhammad there. There he is.
I didn't know. Oh gosh, I didn't know. I didn't know Alex Jones was going after Islam like this, man. I had no clue.
I didn't know.
I did not know, because this is like pretty hard. This is like pretty hardcore, right? Not this is like pretty hardcore when you're like posting this picture and saying, "There he is. That's Muhammad. We got it. We went through time and we used a time machine to go back and get a picture of him. There he is, right there." This is calling Muhammad this girl in this famous porn meme.
That's an actual photo right before the ritual began. Sorry. Let's go back to the video.
Oh gosh, I guess he ain't scared. Now I see why Muslims were flipping out in the comments, though.
Muhammad was.
What's up?
I wonder if Muhammad Hijab is gonna do a response, because he's a big fan of Alex Jones, as we know. So
yes. What did your daddy done? What did your daddy done? You hillbilly redneck. You hillbilly redneck.
He'll respond by talking about what his prophet did, I guess. So
Here's the thing, though. Like hijab is kind of naturally funny, right? Hijab's kind of naturally funny, but it's like, is he gonna try to give like a serious response where he's all arrogant? Yes, yes. Why don't you fight me? Why don't you meet me in the ring? Yes, no, you won't do that. Yes. Or is he going to be like stoned out of his mind like he was the last time and go, "You hillbilly redneck, what did your daddy done?
Yeah.
What did your daddy done?" And cracking up laughing.
And just saying words, like mumbling out stuff that we can't even understand. He's just like unintelligible mumbo jumbo. Yeah, it's like kind of like a 50-50.
Yeah, you can't tell. That's what I mean. It's a coin flip. Are we going to get stoned out of his mind, Muhammad Hijab, cracking up laughing? Here's what sucks. Like, I don't want this dude doing drugs and stuff like that. It's it's bad for you. It's bad for you. But he is way funnier. He is way funnier when he's like drunk or stoned out of his mind and stuff.
Yeah.
Famous among his followers for being able to handle 9 or even 11 women and girls in a single night. Consider a few passages. Al-Bukhari, 5068, narrated Anas, the Prophet used to go round, have sexual relations with all his wives in one night, and he had 9 wives. Sahih Bukhari, 268, narrated Qatada, Anas bin Malik said, the Prophet used to visit all his wives in a round during the day and night, and they were 11 in number. I asked Anas, had the Prophet the strength for it? Anas replied, we used to say that the Prophet was given the strength.
Notice, was given the strength of 30 men.
Of 30 men. That's an oddly specific number, isn't it? Why 30 specifically? You have no clue how common relationships between grown men and adolescent boys were in the ancient and medieval periods. Mature, immature male homosexual behavior was pervasive in Islamic societies. Immature male homosexual attractions were seen as just as normal as heterosexual ones. Mature, immature male homosexual behavior was highly organized in this warrior society. Semen was viewed necessary for growth to be a strong warrior. They believed that virility and manliness could be injected into a boy by a man. Muhammad was known for being gullible and believing whatever people told him. He said that Adam was 90 feet tall, 60 cubits. He said that if a fly falls into your drink, you should dunk the fly.
It's funny. I didn't remember putting any of this into the video, but that's funny.
Yeah.
In the drink. Because one of the wings has the disease, but the other wing has the cure for the disease. He told his followers to drink camel urine as medicine. Muhammad apparently just believed whatever people told him. Muhammad had an interesting way of taking practices that were geared towards children and applying them to adults. For example, Muhammad shocked his followers by claiming that a grown man can absorb a woman's breast milk and become her son. What else can a grown man absorb? Imagine a man who's known as the ear, hearing about men injecting their manliness and virility into boys. Suppose this man wants to become the most virile, masculine, potent man on the planet.
This is funny because I'll make a video and then I don't watch it again unless we cover it for a live stream or something like that. But I'm sitting there going, "Oh man, this is actually pretty airtight case here." I didn't remember like half of this stuff injecting this stuff into the video.
How would he go about that? He would assemble a team of men known for their sexual prowess. The men who were
Zutt Force.
most famous for their sexual prowess were the men of al-Zutt.
Al-Zutt are also depicted as being very sexual and virile, with very large penises.
The men of al-Zutt transfer their virility and manliness into Muhammad. The messenger of Allah went off a stone's throw away. Then he, Abdullah, mentioned a group of male members who looked like Zutt people. They didn't have any clothes on. They came and started to ride the messenger of Allah. The men of al-Zutt rode Muhammad all night long. 30 men of al-Zutt gathered in the desert and injected their masculinity into the Prophet of Islam, making him the most powerful man in the world.
So that's the TikTok version of my video, guys.
Yep.
Fun times, fun times.
You say, oh, we don't believe all their holy books. Okay, well, I can show you 100 videos today of them marrying 6-year-olds off to men. Let's show this. There's a 9-year-old being sold into sex slavery to a 70-year-old man. Here it is.
My father has sold me because we don't have bread, rice and flour. He has sold me to an old man. He's bought Parwana for 200,000 Afghanis, just over $2,000 US. Covered. He has sold me to an old man. He's bought Parwana for 200,000 Afghanis, just over $2,000 US.
He bought a little girl. This creepy old dude bought a little girl for about $2,000, and all she's basically, I mean, he'll marry her and stuff, but she's basically a sex slave for this old creepy old dude.
This really happens too. I've heard stories of like missionaries giving reports where there was like a Afghani villager telling the missionaries, he's saying to them, "Hey, I'm like so poor. I need money. I don't have anything. I have no way to survive. I got to sell my daughter." And so what they did was they contacted their church. They contacted the people that were sponsoring them, and they ended up giving him whatever the money that he was going to sell his daughter for. They gave him the money. So he took the money from the missionaries and then he sold his daughter anyway. And this is like a modern, like, you know, like 5-10 years. It's like, this still happens. This is like really, really a big problem in the Muslim world. They sell their daughters. It happens in northern Nigeria as well. I'm always careful to say northern Nigeria because whenever I say Nigeria, people are like, "You mean northern Nigeria?" Yeah, it's happening in northern Nigeria. It's happening in different countries in the Muslim world where they're selling their daughters to like you have here, like 9-year-old girls to like 60, 70-year-old guys. It's disgusting.
And I didn't know that the detail you just shared, but as soon as they said it was for $2,000, I was like, I would take up a collection for you to not sell your daughter if I thought that could work. And then I just thought, no, you'd take it, but then you'd sell her later anyway because you know, you're going to run out of the money and stuff like that. And this is screwed up, creepy stuff, man. And think, guys, this is Jai. If you had to pick a country that was most fully implementing Sharia law in the world, what would you pick?
I mean, Afghanistan is going to be up there. It's got to be up there it's got to be up there.
Yep. When I look at the Muslim sources and what the goal is, Afghanistan sort of stands out as the closest to it. And look, it's an epic disaster. And these are the guys who are still thinking that, oh, if we just really implement Sharia fully, then Allah will bless us and we'll start taking over the world. And what's actually going on? Families starving and selling their little girls to old perverts and stuff like that because they can't even get rice. That's the actual consequence of Sharia.
Man,
they don't have the benefit like certain Gulf states of just being on this huge ocean of oil and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Covered up, Parwana whimpers as her mother holds her. This is your bride. Please take care of her, says Parwana's father.
This is your bride. Please take care of her. Why does this creepy old dude want this girl? To take care of her? Because he really wants a little girl to take care of? No, he's getting her for one purpose. And you just handed your daughter over to him. And you know, it's a screwed up situation, but guess what? Like some of these guys, they have their families, and their only way to provide food for the rest of their family is to sell the one commodity that is somewhat high value, which is the little girl that the creepy old wealthy guys want.
Yeah, there was a debate amongst Sunni Muslims and Quran-only Muslims, and one of the verses in the Quran talks about, like, you know, if they don't desire chastity, or if they desire chastity, like, don't sell them into sex slavery, or don't sell them into prostitution. And then it says, but if they do that, there's forgiveness for them. And the Quran-only Muslims didn't really have a way out, but the Sunni Muslims were saying, well, there's a variant reading where it specifies that, you know, the forgiveness for them goes back to just the females. It's in like the feminine. It uses the feminine, but it's in a variant reading that, you know, Quran-only Muslims wouldn't accept. But the idea was that if you just go by the Quran, then you can basically pimp out your woman, and, you know, there's forgiveness for you. And so they were actually giving real life examples of that. They were saying, yeah, there are these parts of the world where, like you just said, where you have, like, you know, the father, you know, that's the only way he can survive is, you know, to sell his own daughter. I mean, can you imagine? Like, I mean, it's just, normal people don't think like that, but because it's something actually in Islam, in the Quran, it talks about that. It talks about, you know, selling your woman if they don't desire chastity and things like that. Or if they desire chastity, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to sell them into slavery, sex slavery. But there's forgiveness if it does happen. And he was saying that, yeah, you know, someone who's like living in like northern Nigeria, I think was the example he used. He might sell his daughter into slavery, sex slavery, or sell his daughter off, just like what's happening on the screen right here. And according to the Quran, only Muslims, like, he has forgiveness for that. You can basically pimp out his daughter, you know, and do that. And so they were basically saying that there's a way to justify this just from the Quran, like kind of like the Muhammad hijab of 65 verse 4. They're basically saying you can justify this as well if you just go by the Quran.
And everyone who's watching, this is what we're up against. I mean, this is just a part of what we're up against, but this is Islam here. This is what Islam promotes and teaches, and we respond to this stuff, and we're the bad guys, according to politicians and journalists and professors. We're the bad guys because we're saying you cannot allow this to spread. You have to stand against this stuff. We're the bad guys. And you have, again, politicians and journalists protecting this from criticism.
Yeah.
Evil. Pure evil.
So the reference is chapter 24, verse 33. 24 verse 33, do not compel your woman into prostitution if they desire chastity. But then it goes on to say, but indeed, you know, after they're being compelled or whatever, Allah is forgiving and merciful. So yeah, so they were actually using this verse, chapter 24 verse 33, 24:33. They were using this to say, and these are Sunni Muslims saying you can use the Quran to justify you know, selling your daughters like this because there's forgiveness. Now they were trying to say like soon, in like kind of like the same thing that Muhammad Hijab was trying to say, which is that, well, we have other traditions that like would prohibit us from doing this and like outside of the Quran. But if you just go by the Quran, there's no harm principle, there's no age limit, things like that. They were saying the same thing with this verse as well, that you can justify it like this as well. Actually, Farid was in that discussion. He was the one arguing against the Quran and the Muslims using that verse. So, yeah, we have a recording of it, by the way, as well.
But by the way, you have a couple disturbing steps in that in that verse. So you have the thing, he'll forgive you. It's not too bad. But force not your let's pick Thal's translation. Force not your slave girls to whoredom, that ye may seek the enjoyment of the life of this world, if they would preserve their chastity. So there it's like, if they say they don't want to be prostitutes, then don't make them be prostitutes. Well, what's that leave open? It's okay to use them as prostitutes if they're okay with it.
Exactly.
If they're okay with you using them as prostitutes, you actually hiring them out, that's fine. But if they say, no, I don't want to be a prostitute, then don't make them be a prostitute. Even though if you did force them, it's not too bad. He can forgive you.
Of course I will take care of her, replies the man. His large hands grab her small frame.
Look at that girl. She's covering.
Yeah, his hand's like half the size of her body. It's insane. Like, look how old the guy is. What is this? This is disgusting.
Yep. Guys, this is about what Muhammad and Aisha look like.
Yeah.
And that's basically Abu Bakr saying, "Up here, take her," and that's Aisha's mom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was another. Speaking about Farid, that was his one of his defenses against it. He's like, "Oh, the parents consented, so it's how can it be child rape if it's the child?" It's like this. These people are just.
Yep, but we're bad. We're the bad guys for standing against this.
Juana tries to pull away.
Feminists love this. They love Islam.
As he carries her.
Feminists love Islam.
They got this messed up stuff. He said feminists love it. Feminists love this.
Yeah, they love Islam.
His large hands grab her small frame. Pawana tries to pull away.
Feminists love this. They love Islam.
As he carries her only bag of belongings.
He's saying feminists love this.
She again resists.
She's a terrorist.
Digging her heels into.
When she said she tries to resist, did he just say she's a terrorist?
I think. Wait, let's hear it one more time.
Hang on. It is. I mean, it is seriously messed up. I mean, the girl's trying to go back to her parents and stuff like that.
Feminists love this. They love Islam.
As he carries her only bag of belongings, she again resists.
She's a terrorist.
Digging her heels.
Oh wow! Yeah, he did say this guy, dude. Yeah. Wow. But look at her though; she really is trying to run away. Like that's so sad. That's like
it's extremely screwed up.
To the dirt, but it's futile. The fate of this small, helpless child has been sealed.
Oof.
Trading off little girls for money. That's Islam for you.
Yep. Shame on us. Shame on us for standing against this. And let's all praise the Dawa guys for being the defenders of all this sick nonsense. They're the good guys.
And yeah, in the Quran, pedophilia is legal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But if it's a man with a man, then it's not. But if you repent, then it's okay.
Well, there's was it Baki Bazi or whatever they call it in Afghanistan? I mean, it's
boys dancing.
Yeah, the boys dancing. Yeah.
I mean, I got a bunch more of them marrying. Oh, here's a guy marrying a 6-year-old. People want to see that? I think we've probably seen enough, right? I don't want to hear this crap from the Muslims. Okay, it's well known what happens to you in a Turkish prison.
God, and of course you see the mayor's mayor.
Got a point.
What happens in a Turkish prison?
Turks are sick. Turks.
Oh, okay. Okay, they have a reputation.
It's well known what happens to you in a Turkish prison.
God, and of course you see the.
I heard about this when I was a teenager. I heard about. I don't know which country it was, but I heard about this from a military guy way back in the day. He was saying he was stationed somewhere, and they have a practice over there where if a man is sentenced to prison, he can send his wife to a brothel instead, where she will serve his sentence, making money for the government.
Really?
As a prostitute, yeah. I don't. I mean, again, that was a long time ago. He was talking about somewhere he was stationed and stuff like that. But he said he was talking about the military guys would go to the brothel and stuff like this. But these were women who are serving the sentences of their husbands by being in a brothel. Really, really great stuff that needs to be celebrated and cherished.
Mayors, American mayors going around putting the hijab on for, cultural understanding.
Oh, it's the women, the liberals, the gays, the lesbians with their breasts hanging out, which I wish they'd hide. They're always so ugly. With Palestinian flags.
Yeah.
People say, well, then why aren't you for both Iran? Out of all the groups, Iran basically doesn't do this. The Shiites don't do this.
Yeah.
So,
They don't do what?
He might have gotten some bad information from some Shiites. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Shia, they're I don't want to say they're worse than the Sunnis when it comes to that, but especially like the Green Book from Khomeini, it talks about marrying like infants and fondling them and all sorts of sick, disgusting stuff. But it probably just hasn't. Maybe that will be on a TikTok video one day, and that will get to his desk. But that's there. It's all over the Muslim world, all over.
Yep, it's a problem everywhere. All right, here's the last minute. We'll see what they do here.
They're the really bad ones, too.
Yeah, well, it's the more you learn about other religions, the more it makes me sure Christianity's the right one. That's how I feel.
The predicted the worldwide government, cashless society, 3 world governments.
Today's the day Jesus drove the money changers out of the temple, as if you couldn't write a more perfect scene.
He never got violent, but with them,
and he didn't do it out of anger. Somebody I mentioned that on X.
He did it just to denote it,
saying he braided the whip. He sat there, he thought about it. It wasn't out of anger. He didn't see it and go and just go get angry. No, he said, you know what, this is what needs to be done. I'm going to braid this whip and drive them out of the temple, and that's exactly what he did today on this day.
Because they took a coin that they made you pay with. It was rare, so you had to pay like 20 times what the sacrifice was.
It was literally like monetary manipulation, where you had to use a certain type of money to buy the sacrificial stuff, and so they would inflate the price of the temple money and basically extort the people that had come there.
All right, so the original was on Rumble somewhere, but that was the one that was shared on X. So we checked that one out. Let's check out the super chats, and then we'll see what the Muslim objections are to it. Because again, you have some Muslims who are just like insulting Alex and attacking him and so on. You have others who are trying to respond and say that the story isn't true. So yeah, we'll take the super chats, and then we'll glance over there, and we'll see if we can figure out what the main responses are, and then Jai can see if he's ready to change his mind on all of this, thanks to the powerful work of Dawah.
Let's see.
Alex Jones yelling loudly, "They're putting energy juice in his soul hole and turning the frickin' prophet gay." Dr. Wood, please host an apologetic book, website, video series, and pay invite seminar doing live class lectures specific for apologetics and polemics home run class.
Like homeschool courses?
I don't know. We will be once the new. Yeah, I don't know about that specifically, but yeah, so again next month we want to get the live stream studio up and running, multicam, all that stuff, and the month after that want to get the new more of a professional, because historically I just sit in front of a little bookcase and stuff like that, but want a very, very nice professional spot, and we're gonna be recording some series and so on. First thing we're gonna do is a big series on the Islamic dilemma. Gonna get Chris for a bunch of parts of that. Gonna get a bunch of other guys. We're gonna put it all together into one epic series on the Islamic dilemma, and then we'll have some other kind of courses after that. But we got cool stuff coming out. We got Chris Claus here. Chocolate
up,
bar,
Chris?
Nutty Zutty. That might be better than mine busting a Zutt. This is pure comedic gold, pure gold. Yes, it is. The TikTok guy is Jesus and whatnot. He makes good Catholic content that seems inspired. God bless. It's inspired. Huh. Just like the scriptures. Now we all must convert to this guy's channel. The Islamic version of Superman is Zuttman. Hey, we should talk to Bosch Foston. He's a comic book. He's a comic book artist and so on. Wonder if we could get a character named Zuttman. Jew. Zooted. The Zuttening. Went to a town today and suddenly heard somebody saying to a guy, just Zutt off, will you? Seems the F is getting replaced with the Zutt word. That's good. That's good to know. It's good to know. And this was a while back, but a dude was in church. He said he was in church, and he said his pastor was talking, giving a sermon, and he misspoke and said Zutt, right? And he said blah 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 Zutt, and then he said, and then the pastor started giggling, right? It's like, oh, he actually knows. He actually knows what he just said. So anyway,
Whoops.
Fun times. Zutt's story is Sahih. It's Sahih Bukkake. I know that's a porn. I don't know what that means. I know that's a porn word.
What is it?
Yeah. And guys, don't tell us. Don't tell us. And no, guys, for anyone who's stupid right now, don't be, I'll look it up. Don't do that. Don't do that stuff. Just understand that is some porn word.
I've been doing that. Some of this, I don't recommend Googling this stuff. I was Googling a reference that he said earlier. I wanted to make sure I had it correctly, but yeah, don't Google this stuff. Apparently, yeah.
Lindsay has semi-credible stories of al-Zutt. I still don't know what about the connection.
Yeah, someone sent me a message. Apparently, he's got some sort of like gay past or something like that. Some kind of gay, something gay. I don't know.
Definitely more ped than gay, I think. Wait, okay, so that's as far as the debate in the future. What has your daddy done? No, Zoot. What has your daddy done? That'll be weird. That'll sound weird to some people. No, that was Muhammad Hijab. The Zutt rode Muhammad, not the other way around. Very important distinction. Yeah.
That's true.
So Alex was wrong. Hey, it'd be funny if we get one of the Dawa guys. And Alex Jones actually lied about the Prophet, yeah, because him said that Muhammad rode them all night long. But he was... Alex Jones is lying. It was actually them that was riding Muhammad, yeah? This is why you can't trust InfoWars. Something like that. That'd be fun. The Zutt rode Muhammad. Desert Storm, where Mo got his kryptonite. Yeah, that was his Operation Desert Storm. Tell him about the toothbrush chimera baby.
Oh yeah,
that's one of the stories. That's one of the stories.
Yeah,
although that's from later.
Yeah.
It only involves Muhammad's toothbrush, not Muhammad. You want to tell people what that is real quick?
Yeah. Basically, there was a toothbrush, a miswak, and somebody didn't use it appropriately. They kind of were mocking it and making fun of the idea that
everyone's like, look, we have Muhammad's toothbrush, you see, this is the proof. And someone's like, I'll show you what I think of Muhammad's toothbrush. He grabs it and sticks it up his own butt.
He zooted himself.
With Muhammad's toothbrush.
And then he became pregnant. And it was like a ratfish mouse or something baby, ratfish frog or something like that, like
some weird mutant baby came out of his
and then he died.
Butt. Then he died and says, see, don't make fun of Muhammad's toothbrush by sticking it up your butt, or this same thing will happen to you.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Welcome to Islam, guys. You've hit the big time, Dizzle. Yep.
Yeah.
It is funny because we had it on Sky News when that dude said it on Sky News. Now we got it on Alex Jones. No getting rid of the story now, guys. Too late. The reason jihad fails today is because Allah's warriors have not been given the strength of al-Zutt. SubhanAllah. Yeah, they're trying all this different stuff like we need to be more forceful in imposing Sharia and stuff like that. Not according to Muhammad. He got his strength from the al-Zutt.
Yeah.
The rule book's invisible al-Zutt footnotes. Allowed in certain circumstances and certain people, just don't ask which ones. Muhammad's gay and Christ is king. Not gonna lie, I like the voice change. Oh, where they changed my voice? Yeah. Tap, tap, tapping at Muhammad's back door. Wait, what's that song? I can't tell if that's the Bob Dylan. Tap, tap, tapping at Muhammad's back door. That would work, but I don't know if you're thinking of a different song, but that one would work. We have there no comment. Proof Momo was using cheat codes. Yep. He took the shortcut. Tried to take the shortcut.
Yeah.
Is that Dylan Mulvaney in Alex Jones's pick? If you mean that porno, no. That's it's creepy because she looks like a teenage girl. I'm guessing she's like just reached the correct age for the people to pounce on. We need one about Tahrir al-Wasila, where Iran is relevant. The horseshoe left and right say they're up against the Epstein army while supporting that. Yeah, weird stuff. Is the crusade starting again? It's about time. No, I don't think so. David, you cannot allow this to spread. Mo, hold my Camelade. I love Camelade. We'll have Zutt Energy and Camelade as the energy drinks. Please pray for Pakistani Christians. They just legalized Muslim men marrying underage Christian girls.
I heard about that.
I saw that. I tried to look around for it. I couldn't find any news stories on it.
Yeah.
Release the Mohammed files. We shall. Keep exposing this. These little girls' faces need to be seen. Their stories need to be told. We need to stop this. And we need to point out that Islam is the problem. Have you heard about Sadia Khan, the online psychologist? She's made YouTube videos that Muslims have superior marriages. Should be easy for you to debunk. Yeah, you can do that just by going on the research. Whenever you look at the studies on the worst places in the world for women, it'll always be like 11 out of the 12 worst places are Muslim majority countries, or 18 out of the 20 worst places for women are Muslim countries. Like, hey, why that pattern? Why that pattern? And
how did that happen? That's like a
did they fix that? Did they make it so that super sticker, is that a super sticker?
I mean, it's I don't know what it looks like originally.
I wonder if they fixed it so that super stickers go through now. I don't know. God bless you guys. Greetings from Germany.
Oh, we can test it out. If you guys want to send them super stickers, we can test it out.
Every time a Muslim tries to defend Muhammad's marriage with Aisha, they should be shown the video of this little girl resisting to go with this 50-year-old guy. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, that should just be. I'm surprised I haven't made that video. Just say, hey, for you guys who defend it and say, oh, what a great idea, check this out. If anyone wants to learn Arabic, they can just learn Swahili instead. It's the closest language and way easier to learn. And wait, did Momo have any kids? If not, was the weird fish monster his only child?
It wasn't his kid, but it was.
Yeah. So supposedly Muhammad had a few sons and daughters with Khadija, and then only got anyone pregnant after that. Supposedly was just married the Copt and had a son, but all his sons died in childhood. But I have doubts. I have doubts about the whole story and timeline and so on, because Muhammad supposedly marries Khadija when she's 40, and then she supposedly has all these kids afterwards and stuff. That would be weird. That would be, you could still get pregnant at 40 frequently, but to have a bunch of children after the age of 40 would be kind of improbable. Let's see here. Was the real reason Muslims neutered their black slaves to avoid temptation? Oh yeah, I guess that would to avoid.
Oh,
yeah, it totally was right. You didn't want these guys around your women, and you're out, and then your wife decides to do something with the strong black slave and so on. So here they're putting forward the theory that it was
it's the men.
for the men.
Yeah.
The men is like, no, I can't have these big strong black men because I want them to zoot me. I want them to zoot me, so I must have them castrated, so I won't be tempted to let them zoot me. Sadia involved in cheating scandal, being side chick. Oh, that's weird stuff.
Oh, I've seen her on X. Yeah, I know you guys are talking about now. Yeah. So she's going around saying Muslim marriages are better, but she was in some sort of like relationship where she was
She's
getting
the
cheated on or
side chick.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that that doesn't make any sense at all. But okay. Yeah,
And-
I remember seeing that. Oh, okay. So we can see the stickers.
Okay,
now.
so the super stickers do work, but they're gigantic. So I'm gonna have to look and see if there's a setting because they're taking up half the screen, man. What is that? I have to check and see if I can change that. Maybe you could make a super cut of Dawa guys defending child marriages and having the clip of the little girl cut in between the other clips. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea for a video. It was his toothbrush, Jai, where the monster DNA come from. Yep.
That's a good question.
Well, who knows what else this dude was sticking up his butt, right?
Yeah. And how did he have the ability to get pregnant?
I'm just saying,
I mean,
it could have
this
been all
is
kinds of DNA, all kinds of DNA mixed together in there. Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh, so if it was, wait. So if it was Muhammad's toothbrush, the idea is what did he have in his mouth then for this guy to get pregnant? So I don't know. It's an interesting question.
One of life's great mysteries.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, Jai, let's go ahead and we're not going to spend too long because I'm just guessing that we're going to end up revisiting the al-Zutt stuff probably all year long. But let's kind of see what they got.
Yeah,
going
someone's
on.
going to do a response to Alex Jones, or maybe Sneaker will have like one of his Dawa
someone
buddies
will
or
probably make
something,
a video response.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, these lying kuffar.
Yeah. One of my favorite ones is when they say it's like, oh, it's jinn, but not letting people know that jinn are actually, they can take on human form in Islam, and they actually have like, anyway, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Major historical development. So we have researchers have discovered the source of the Prophet Muhammad's superhuman strength. According to holy Islamic writings, the Prophet Muhammad received a powerful injection from 30 black men that gave him the strength of 30 men. And then you can watch and share. Classic. This was a stream on X. That's interesting. So they have the clip, but then they have this stream. Interesting. X stream. All right. So 6,200 likes. Deserves a million, guys. Deserves a million.
Top comment from the Muslims. Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah. See it there. It is good to know. Almost 800,000 views. Good times. Good times. This is just up from yesterday. Do not mock our prophet, you. Huh. And look how Alex Jones responds. Muhammad married to a 9-year-old girl. Why? Because the dude called him pedo. And then he points out Muhammad married a 9-year-old. Gosh. Hang on. Let me see this. Let's see what the replies were, if they're going to flip out.
The Muslim guy.
Yeah, let's see. Do not mock our prophet, blah, blah, blah. Muhammad married to a 9-year-old girl. Where's your proof?
Wow.
We've got 200 sources. We got over 200 hadiths. And then his
How does
response,
the Muslim not know? How do they not know about Aisha? That's crazy.
Yeah, look at that. And then we've got the Epstein files that show your master Trump and the pedo. You're a compromised. We've got over 200 hadiths talking about Muhammad having sex with a.
Oh, you know what I saw that was really funny?
Hmm.
Okay, this guy was doing a TikTok live, right? Mm-hmm. And he had a Muslim on his live, and they were talking about the Epstein files. And they're like, okay, you Muslims, you guys keep talking about the Epstein files. Let's go over some of these emails. And so he made it look like it was an Epstein email, but he like reworded a hadith. And he was like, so do you condemn this? Do you condemn this? This is sick. It was the one where Muhammad said like, why are you going after an adult woman, or like, why don't you go after the virgins? Why don't you marry a virgin or something like that? He's like, don't you
That's
think
funny.
this is sick? The guys and the guy ended up condemning it. He's like, so you're sure that whoever said this was sick? And it looked like it was like one of the Epstein emails. And then the guy ended up condemning it, not realizing that he was condemning Muhammad himself. So it's a funny way to do it.
That is a funny way to do it. That's very
Yeah.
smart. That's a very smart
Yeah.
and funny way to do it, guys.
Yeah.
Then we have Freedom Seed.
Not in the
not the freedom seed Muhammad wanted. But so we have Muslim Ahmed,
okay.
got the quote,
Okay.
and then a graphic there. I said facts. Alex Jones replies
Wow.
facts. Okay, now here we go. Here we have Eddie Dean. And Eddie, dude, seriously. You're part of this, Eddie. You're part of the reason. You're part of the reason.
He made the
man.
gin response. He came with a gin response. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's really interesting because like a lot of times it's kind of like the response to the Islamic dilemma. Like you have like different camps that have different things, but it's like if you piece them together, like they destroy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're saying, oh, this happened, but it was jinn, well, that's going to destroy the guys who said it's a weak hadith and like it's not authentic. So it's like, okay, so he's admitting at least from what I saw, I didn't read the whole thing, but it's like he's admitting that it's authentic, but it's jinn. It's not.
Let's check that out. So, but yeah, Eddie's part of the problem. Eddie's one of the compulsive liars that we get sick of, and we say, stop lying, stop lying, stop lying, stop lying. If you want to disagree, if you want to give an argument, you want to disagree with us and give arguments against our position, so on, do all that. When you guys just keep lying, you're crossing a serious line there. And don't come to us and say, "Hey, this story sounds really bad and messed up," but give us the most charitable interpretation of this, which we'll provide. We'll tell you what we want this to mean, even though it doesn't sound anything like what the passage is saying. But give us the benefit of that. Be super charitable. Oh, by the way, all we're going to do in response to the Bible is lie. Okay, well, you can do that. We can't stop you. But don't tell us to give you the benefit of the doubt on all these screwed up sources. But what does he say here? Imagine having to lie this badly to attack Islam. The narration clearly says the prophet was teaching jinn.
Oh, so the narration, so that's authentic. He didn't say like this false thing that Christians just made up or something. Mm-hmm. So it exists. It's authentic. It's just.
By the way, notice the parallel.
What? But they removed that translation and fabrication. Okay. Yeah, so it's jinn. Okay, it's jinn.
Yes. But I mean, think of the parallel here, right? So Muhammad would be in his house behind a curtain with Dihya al-Kalbi, and he would ask people, "Hey, who'd you see there?" "We saw you with Dihya al-Kalbi." And he would go, "No, it's the angel Gabriel." But think about that. So that's the pattern for making excuses. Hey, who were you behind the curtain with, Muhammad? Because it was Dihya al-Kalbi, that hot young man. No. It was the angel Gabriel. And what do they do here? Hey, Muhammad's out in the desert with the men of al-Zutt getting banged. No, it's just jinn. He's just teaching the jinn Islam. Oh, really? And then it left him in pain because they're riding him all night long, and he comes back and passes out. Okay. But Eddie Dean here says, the narration clearly says the prophet was teaching jinn, but they remove that, mistranslate words, and fabricate something completely false. Clear deception. And it's sad how many people blindly believe it without checking the source. Come on, man. You stop embarrassing yourself, Eddie. Eddie, we invite you to join us for a live stream. And we will go through the passage. We'll go through the lexicons. We'll get to the bottom of this, not in the Zutt sense, and you can respond and show us what really happened, Eddie. Open invitation. Will it ever happen? No. Because you'll only say this stuff on X because you know you would get wrecked, much like your prophet on the night of al-Zutt, although in a completely different way.
Yeah, so the jinn in English, like it's genie. So like if you think of like a genie in the bottle or something like that, that's actually what a jinn is. Muslims believe that these genies are real spiritual creatures, and they actually believe that jinn or genies can take on physical human form. And so you actually have like legal rulings. Some guy would write in and he'd be like, I think a jinn is, cheating with my wife or something like that. Is that possible? And the scholars are like, well, there's this opinion, but they're actually entertaining these ideas that a woman can actually sleep with a jinn. So it's kind of like Muhammad when he would get caught with, he would caught with, Dahil al-Kalbi, and he would say, "Oh, that was just Gabriel. That was just Gabriel. Gabriel was just coming in the form of a man, and that's what you guys saw. It looked like Dahil, but it's not actually him." So the idea is like, maybe his wife told him it was a jinn or something like that, and it was actually like the some guy down the road or whatever. So if this is the case where it's like jinn and they're not human, they're jinn, that doesn't mean that they didn't take on human form and can actually like actually penetrate or something like that.
Jinns are physical beings. They have to eat. They eat food and stuff like that. So they're physical, and so you have a couple of you have two issues. You have two main issues when you're saying this is about jinn. So one, jinn are physical beings as well. They can just be invisible, but they eat food. They can have sex, and so okay, Muhammad got banged in his butt by a bunch of jinn. How does that help you? How is that helping you? So that's kind of one issue, and it doesn't fit the evidence as well. Why? They didn't say Muhammad had the strength of 30 jinn. Said he had the strength of 30 men, which suggests that it's men. The other problem is Raymond Ibrahim has pointed out that if it's used with some sort of spirit being the word yarkabun, it can mean possessed if you're talking about some sort of spirit being. So instead of they rode him or had sex with him or mounted him, it would be they actually possessed him. And that even wouldn't rule out how they possessed him by banging him. Interesting.
Yeah. Because then you have to factor in like the Diddy line, you have to factor in the pain and all this other
pain
stuff.
And he's all tuckered out and was returned in pain and so on. So that response not going to do the work you think it does there, Eddie.
But it's helpful. It's helpful that he's not denying the narration, because that's going to destroy other Muslims who say it's weak, right?
Yep, so that is good. Yep. Muslim scholar explained, it is not gay to help other men expend their anus to fit explosives as long as you blow up in the end. I do remember that from years ago. Creepy stuff. If you want a breakdown on Islam, invite God Logic. Muslim debaters literally run from him, and he's one of the nicest guys around. Act 17 is also great, and he has years of history in taking on Islamic proselytizers.
Also, he's the video that you showed.
And so, hey, is this that same guy?
That's the guy there, yeah.
Okay, so here he's talking about Zainab. Hey, this guy's doing some awesome work over there, man. Guys, if you're on TikTok, definitely follow that dude. He's putting out some awesome content. I wouldn't have expected Alex Jones to roast Muhammad. I wasn't. That just came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
Swiss
Apologetics al-Zutt.
Delusional ideas, chronic denial of existence.
Here we have Islam knowledge. I used to watch your show. I thought you were smart, real, but you proved to be a hateful, low IQ with lack of knowledge and integrity. Facts for you. Hey, this is funny. Craig, I've seen this a bunch recently as well. They're taking these. Now, I don't know. I haven't checked the dates here, but they keep posting these Craig Considine tweets from like 2016 when he just kept posting all this idiotic nonsense defending Islam. He later admitted, this was like 2 years ago, he later admitted that he was basically working for al-Qaeda.
Wow. Okay.
And so,
but
they're still posting.
Don't let facts get in the way of dawah, right?
Yeah, they're posting all this stuff. And keep in mind, I don't mean like officially working for al-Qaeda. He realized that where he's getting his support coming from is actually like al-Qaeda source. There's something like that. But yeah, we went through this like 2 years ago or something like that. We went through him freaking out. And anyway, but look, Craig Considine again. Don't know the date, but they keep sharing ones from like 2016, 2017, stuff like that. Even though it was before that, because I remember back when we were on Jesus or Muhammad, and we were going through his articles, and his article would be like how Muhammad was the George Washington of Arabia. And it was all idiotic. But anyway, he says the U.S. Supreme Court honors Prophet Muhammad as one of the greatest lawgivers in history. Harvard University Law School recognizes the Quran as one of the leading books for. Oh, he didn't put the date on here. But yeah, look up when that's from. Alex Jones has found Zutt posting. Zutt it. And here you have, guys. These are life lessons here. Never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, a Muslim what the men of al-Zutt did in the desert. It's good
Nice.
stuff, good stuff.
Nice.
What the Islamic sources say about Muhammad: he spent a night in the desert with 30 black men of al-Zutt with big genitals, and they rode him until exhaustion. Then he slept with his head resting on Ibn Masud's thigh. Can't get any more gay than that. Actually, that's true. Looks like there's more. So Swiss Apologetics went down a list. Give Act 17 and Raymond Ibrahim credit. Yep, Raymond put it out there and did a bunch of popularizing, and I also helped the popularizing of this story. Got these. Come on, we want some of the Muslim responses. Muhammad's wife was 6 years. It is good that a bunch of the responses are from critics.
Yep.
Muhammad's wife was 6 years old when he married her, so he allowed her to keep on playing with dolls. Mm-hmm. That's true. Oh gosh, someone did it with the
there's
dolls.
Eddie.
Huh?
There's Eddie again underneath. He's at.
We got the dolls here. And it's very sad that you've turned into a complete liar. You couldn't even spell liar, dude.
So he used to be a fan. Yeah, I noticed Muslims always spell liar like that.
Yeah, it's weird. So they throw gays off roofs and hate gays, but they're gay. Which is it? Can't wait to hear Sneeko's response. Yeah, Sneeko, when are you going to respond to this, man? Sneeko, we really... Anyone who's Sneeko blocked me, so I can't send him a message. But guys, tell him, Sneeko, when are you going to respond to this, man? You really have to respond because we want Sneeko's response to this stuff. Can't wait to hear.
He'll get like one of these Dava guys who embarrass themselves too, like what he did with when they went to that sheikh's house in Saudi Arabia. Remember? And about the Yemeni Yemeni hadith.
Mm-hmm. Laughing my butt off. Alex Jones knows about the men of al-Zutt now. they got me on there. Roman Shahada. Was Prophet Muhammad gang banged by black Indians, Pakistanis, or was this consensual? I remember when I did a poll, not in the Zut sense, but I said, was Muhammad raped or was it consensual? Those are your options. I love those kind of questions. Yeah. D-Wood has officially made it. Al-Zutt. Uh-oh.
Oh, gosh.
It's pretty much it. Fatwa should be made on Alex Jones for this. God's servant. Islam and Muslims must address it immediately.
Sounds he's serious.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that guy's serious.
Oh, that's weird. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Al-Hajar. Sounds like the Prophet Muhammad was the original Bonnie Blue. Yep, that's been pointed out. Grok, is this true? Alex Jones promoting porn. That's a new one. Oh, because he used the picture.
Oh, okay.
Because he used the meme. That became a meme that people would put something over the girl. But yeah, no, he's not advertising that. He's making fun of Muhammad. And it's the hadith. We told everyone to screenshot a while back, so that's good. Bro, you got to be trolling with this one. It's not even close to the truth about Muhammad. Well, you can join us and explain it. Hey, Alex Jones, God has endowed his prophets with all kinds of power. They don't need to gather power from outside.
Oh yeah, really?
Wait a minute. We actually need to check this one out.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me. We have someone trying to join us here. Look who we have.
What's up?
Couldn't stay away.
Not if you're talking about my bestie, Alex Jones.
You like Alex Jones, man?
I used to watch his stuff all the time. InfoWars. I saw his documentary Loose Change. I knew about all the kind of conspiracies and stuff like that. He was actually very popular with Muslims. I was really shocked that Muhammad Hijab made an attack against him. I'm like, he's kind of one of the primary people who said that 9/11 was an inside job, which allowed for Muslims to, because that was a great pain and trauma for Muslim people, was that they were kind of linked to this terrible terrorist attack on, the Twin Towers. So Alex Jones kind of was a champion for Muslims, saying Muslims didn't do it. So, I was kind of shocked by that.
Wait, you think the Jews did it?
Oh, what about 9/11?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I think there's a lot of evidence that, we can see about that the planes could do it. There is evidence for that case, scientifically speaking. But I think you have to understand for a lot of Muslims who were in America, it was hard. It was a very hard experience, because then Muslims were tied to this really terrible terrorist attack. And
you
so
heard it.
Alex,
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. Issa showed up and explained it. Muslims were the real victims of 9/11. We heard it here, everyone. And then he laughs about it.
I just I like how you framed that. It's pretty. You're
That's
a good comedian, man.
That's how I do it, man. All right, let's check out.
Speaking of comedians, how was the boss of Bassem Youssef? Bassem Youssef?
I saw him both nights because I wanted to see if his shtick was changed. It was the same thing both times. He actually memorized the script. I think he is funny, but like the second time I saw it, I'm like, oh, I know all of these jokes. Like I know every single joke, and it was an interesting experience to kind of see what that was. But I mean, a lot of Muslim comedians use the same kind of stuff where they're like, I'm Muslim. Here's Muslim humor about being a Muslim in America, you know? And, you know, for some people, you might like that. Some people are like, ugh, this is like really tired and, you know, boring. And, you know, he did this shtick about, do you condemn Hamas, that kind of stuff. But, yeah, he did one funny joke that I thought was really kind of funny, was that he talked about, like, he does shows in casinos. So he does shows in casinos, and he said, yeah, isn't that interesting? He said, well, you have this like very Orthodox Muslim family that's going in to go see Bassem Youssef, and the one guy, he has a long beard, and he puts his head down, and he goes, subhanallah, 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 trying to get through the casino to get to Bassem Youssef's show. Then the second one is his wife, and she has a tasbih, and she's praying, and she's like, oh, please, Allah, forgive me for going through this place, right? And the third one is the boy, and this is what he said about the boy. He's like, am I in Jannah? Because there's like women.
That's good.
That's funny.
Yeah. Because we to Muslim, we would say this. The Muslims are like, you know, your Jannah is just like Vegas, right? Like, like that's what your Jannah is.
Uh-huh.
And he said it's Disneyland for Shaitan. That's what he said the casino was. And I just thought that was funny. I enjoyed that part. But yeah, it was wild. It was a wild show. But yeah, there was some good jokes, and I agree with you, David. I think he's pretty funny. Some of the stuff might be off color, but he, you know, and I think that's the point. You can find something funny even if you don't agree with the person. I think that's important.
Mm-hmm. All right. I did scroll down through the responses, and we do get a couple of the main ones here. So we'll check out a couple of main responses. And Issa, nice try, derailing us to talk about Vegas the entire time. But let's see. Here we have Yassine Aslan. Yeah, so, hey, Alex Jones, God has endowed his prophets with all kinds of power. They don't need to gather power from outside sources like these men of al-Zutt. There are many verses in the Quran emphasizing that God has endowed his prophets with power from his own presence and that they don't need to gather power from outside. Such low-level manipulations will get you nowhere. Here are some verses. The Constitution of Islam is the Quran. So there you have it, guys. Don't need to worry about all this al-Zutt stuff because, no, the Quran says they don't need outside sources of energy. Let's see. We can play this dirty game, so when your God rode mounted cherubim... Oh, my goodness, guys. No, you can actually use the word... You can use the word to ride the clouds and ride this. And that is one of the completely normal meanings if you're talking about... that this is the word you use for riding a horse or something like that. When it's this man rode him out in the desert, it's the word does, and there you're talking about the word yarkaboon. Guess what? They're not using the word yarkaboon here, which is used in the Muslim sources for sex, if it's between like a husband and a wife and so on. So, yep. Riding on the wind, you see, it's banging the winds. Oh my goodness.
I would ask him, I'm like, that poster, I'm like, why are you attacking your own book? It's like slapping yourself in your face. You're slapping your own self. That's your holy book, bro. That's the creed of Iman. So, you know, it's the it's the creed of Iman. You have to believe in the book. So why are you attacking your own book, man?
Let's see. I swear at this point you guys believe anything people say. That was the criticism against Muhammad. It's pretty clear that Muhammad was gay and perverted. That's very Islamophobic. Let's see. Okay. All right. So here we have, I guess this is about Alex being mean or something like that. Let's see. Let me click on this here. Okay, the Quran informs us that some of the enemies of the Prophet described as human and jinn devils will fabricate lies and attribute them to the Prophet. This is precisely what happened after the Prophet Muhammad's death. Hadith, oral, and sunnah actions were invented and attributed to the Prophet. Hadith and sunnah are satanic innovations. So here you have some sort of Quran-only Muslim. He's just saying you can't trust the Hadith; they're all lies.
Wow.
And so it sounds like he's saying, yeah, the story is really messed up, but it's also made up. It's a fabrication. So you can't.
Yeah, he's not saying like mistranslation or jinn or whatever. He's just saying, no, you had it right, but it's just made to attack Muhammad.
Yes, it's real. It also says he was sore and couldn't walk for a while after. The men were called the al-Zutt. Right here we have another common response. Abu Sheikh. Real Alex Jones, stop lying. This hadith contains a chain of narrator that includes Imam al-Bakali, who is weak. Imam al-Bukhari himself said that al-Bakali or Amr never heard this from Ibn Masud. He only claimed to have heard it, but in reality, he did not. In your face, Alex Jones. And this one here, then we get into...
Oh wait, well, 1 second on the al-Bukhari point, because there is something I have on that here, but there's another, like, this is the thing with Muslim scholars, like these hadith people who like grade the who's weak or who's strong. One guy will say he's strong, and another guy will say he's weak. So there's another guy, there's another scholar, al-Ejli, who said that al-Bukhari actually he was among the trustworthy people. Because from the successors of the successors of Muhammad. So you have another scholar saying, actually he's actually from the trustworthy people. So you kind of like you pick and choose which scholar you wanna.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll check out this one because this one's gonna try and break things down for us, and then Jai, you can admit your defeat. Apparently. Let's see. Why don't you mention that in this hadith it is said that they look like the people of al-Zutt, have no genitals. It just says he couldn't see the genitals. And are declared as jinn, and the Prophet begins to recite from the Quran while they crowd around him. So here you have that it's about crowding, where ride is not meant literally, but rather crowding around him densely like wool. You little deceiver! The strongest and most authentic version, Sahih Muslim 450a, and parallel narrations, English translation, blah, 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 blah. Alqama reported, I asked Abdullah ibn Masud, were you with the messenger on the night of the jinn? He replied, no, but we were in the company of the messenger of Allah one night, and we suddenly missed him. We searched for him in the valleys and on the mountains, and we said to ourselves, either the jinn have taken him away, or he has been secretly killed. We spent the worst night that people have ever experienced. When the morning came, we saw him coming from the side of Mount Hira. The Prophet then said, a caller from the jinn came to me, so I went with him. I recited the Quran to them. Later, he showed us their traces. Oh, he had some traces. And the ashes of their fires. The jinn asked him about their provision, and he said, every bone on which the name of Allah is mentioned becomes your food. When it falls into your hands, if it is covered with meat, and camel dung is fodder for your animals. Do not use these things for purification, for they are the food of your brothers, the jinn. Grading, Sahih, authentic, the highest level. Important point. Ibn Masud explicitly states here that he was not present. This is the strongest contradiction to Musnad Ahmed 3788, which is about the al-Zutt.
Isn't it funny though how you can either say it's a contradiction, or you can just say, wait, these are two different nights.
Two different stories, yeah. Two different stories, yeah. Muhammad had a lot of nights. And so if Ibn Masud is there, and then on the night of the jinn, Ibn Masud said, I wasn't there. You say, ha ha, so that story is fake, or it's talking about two different things.
Right. Because Muhammad knew, okay, you stand behind this line, you sit down, he's been there before, right? He knew what he knew. That, yeah, he's like instructing Ibn Masud what to do. Yeah.
All right. So there are similar short versions in Sahih Bukhari and other collections that confirm the Prophet was alone with a group of jinn and recited the Quran to them. Other authentic or Hasan versions, Surah al-Jinn in the Quran itself, the jinn listen to the Quran, are impressed, believe, and return as warners to their people. There is no detailed description of a night with riding or a line drawn in the sand. Okay, so what? It would be a different story then? Tafsir Ibn Kathir on blah, 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 and the jinn. He mentions the encounter, but emphasized that the Prophet did not see the jinn while they were listening. They crowded densely around him. They stood over one another like wool in order to hear better. Quick additional context. The description you mentioned, like the Zutt, a historical group known as tall, slim, dark-skinned people, no visible private parts, crowding around the Prophet while he recites the Quran, indeed appears specifically in the longer, more detailed narration of Musnad Ahmed 3788 and the similar report in Jami' at-Tirmidhi 2861.
By the way, I just realized that this is a ChatGPT response because of like the M dashes and stuff like that. And yeah.
Oh, ChatGPT, will you give me a response to all this stuff so I can act like I'm smart?
Exactly.
Classical scholars often explain Yarkabun, they rode mounted, not as literal riding, but as crowding. It's just weird. That's not what the lexicon
say.
Show us
that.
But as crowding eagerly and pressing closely around him to listen, similar to the Quranic expression in Surah Al-Jinn 19, they almost became a compacted mass upon him. Well, jinn can do that, and the men of al-Zutt can also do it. The stronger Sahih Muslim version remains the most reliable foundation for the event, while the detailed Zutt description is considered weaker or disputed by many scholars due to contradictions and chain issues. Father, forgive, and no, he's mocking. Father, forgive Alex, for he do not know what he is doing. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, all kinds. So anyway, guys, you can check out more responses if you want. Multiple problems there. Multiple problems with. I'm not, and I don't mean just the standard objections and so on, but so one saying these are talking about the same stories, and these stories over here are the reliable ones because they don't include all this super embarrassing stuff. Historians, and I'm not talking about how a historian might examine this story. I mean, that's not how historians usually think the reverse. They'll take the less embarrassing story and think that was the one that was made up, right? In other words, you took the embarrassing stuff out of it. In other words, if a historian, now there could be other reasons for trusting some versions over others or just saying they're different stories. I'm just saying on this one, if you just had two Muslim sources, and one said, one sounded like Muhammad got banged out in the desert and his buddy was there seeing the whole thing and Muhammad passes out, falls asleep on his lap. And this other one, no, it's just Muhammad preaching to the jinn. They just saw those, they would go, oh, this one's probably original, and they watered it down because it was so embarrassing and it sounded like Muhammad was doing some messed up stuff in the desert. So they took that stuff out. So you can't just say, oh, this one is better because it doesn't include all this stuff. Anyway.
I think Rob Christian has also documented a lot of this kind of like these responses, and he's given like certain answers to them. So it's like in short form. And I think he's got multiple sources saying that these are two different nights. These are two different nights, and it's like it's because of the reasons that you just gave, but like there's also like others as well. And and in terms of like the linguistic side of things, I could once I saw that it was ChatGPT, it was just he's like coping with ChatGPT is coping, trying to understand the Muslim perspective and the predicament that they're in, and it's giving like false information, or what they say is these hallucinations, like false information that it's coming up with. And so on the linguistic point about what the word means, whether it means crowding or not, give us the scholars, because it said the scholars say that. Well, what scholars comment on it and what scholars say that that's what it means?
And what proof can they say?
Yeah, what scholar?
You could find a Muslim scholar who will say anything to defend Muhammad and so on. You got to show us. Nope. Before we started bringing this up as a criticism, what did your classical scholars say about this stuff? Yeah. All right, so Jai, we'll take these couple super chats real quick, and then you can share your thoughts on whether their responses have destroyed the credibility of this story. So we have D. Wood, the hillbilly redneck, should invite you to go on his show. Yeah, I'm usually not. I mean, I'll go on shows when people invite me and stuff like that, but I don't. I'm more interested in just doing shows with my friends and stuff like that. Dr. Wood, I'm going back to Zanzibar next week, and we have a lot of Kenyan imams there and Dawa guys. Should I run the Islamic dilemma on them? Absolutely. That's a good argument because if you're in certain places and lots of Dawa guys, you don't want to be running out in certain places and going, "Hey, you're prophet the pedophile" or something like that. So the Islamic dilemma is it's given how powerful it is, it's less confrontational than a lot of things that people would say. And you can run it by just asking questions the entire time. So what do you think about the Bible? Oh, I think it was corrupted. Okay, why did Allah say this? Why did Allah say that? Why did Allah say this? So, yep, that is a good approach. InfoWars needs to take over. Oh, This Week in Jihad. For real, though, Dyer must have helped him with this segment. Yeah, I don't know what made him... I don't know if someone sent it to him or if it was Jay Dyer or something like that saying, hey, you should check this stuff out. Do Muslims hide women in order to not lose them to Mo? Yep, don't know. Teaching jinn about what? Zut rituals? Yeah. He was making a man out of those jinn. Christians are to marry as an adult, and adult ages 20 to 60, youth 0 to 20, elderly 60 and up. Ezekiel 16, 6-8 proves that women are ready for love after puberty. Jesus got into the desert to fast and resist the devil for 30 days. Muhammad goes into the desert and can't resist 30 al-Zutt.
Yeah.
Very rude.
It's actually 40 days
I
for Jesus.
Sad those
I'm talking about the super chat. Yeah, the super chat.
Yeah. Sad those marriages in the UK might become legal. Some Piers Morgan sounding police officer telling a 9-year-old, back to your husband, little girl. Yep, that is a problem. Eddie's excuses remind me of the Shaggy song, It Wasn't Me. That's it, wasn't me. I cracked the code. It is a black gin, you see. They were black gin. So not Muhammad. You were being sodomized by 30 jinns. Sounds reasonable if you never think about it. Yep. The TikTok guy is on YouTube too. Exact name is Jesus and Whatnot. Oh, that's cool. So he has a YouTube channel. Did you see Malik threatening one-way apologetics? Well, I haven't seen this stuff, but I've heard he's threatening a bunch of people. And the threats worked so well for him last time. It caused all kinds of wonderful Quran desecrations and all sorts of amazing just fracturing of the Dawah scene. So, yep.
It's another example of Dawah guys just ruining Islam. This is how he's trying to fix Islam by what is he doing? He's threatening Chris. Okay, so yeah, this is supposedly gonna save Islam, but watch, it's gonna end up backfiring on him. So
always will. So
yeah.
Imagine having to excuse this stuff. Glad I follow Jesus. Leave your cult, Issa. You're too smart for this.
Yeah, man. Get away from religion of Zutt.
Oh, very cute.
Thank you, Dr. Wood, Brother Jai, and the chat. Zutt broke Mo, and now they break Chat JPT. Yeah. And Issa's here. Finally, a live stream worth watching. Cool stuff. All right, Jai. You've heard the powerful Dawah refutations. Hey, who am I hearing the audio?
There's an echo.
Okay.
I got headphones on, so. So.
Issa.
So I guess the last thing that we just saw where the person was trying to basically say this is it's contradicting another time Muhammad was with some jinn that actually that time mentions that they were jinn, this is they act like this only happened it was a one-off or something like that, when if you read the one in Muslim Ahmed, it seems like Muhammad knows exactly what to do. Hey, here's this area, you stay right here, sit down right, he know, it's this is something he's not just going there for the first time, he knows that there's rules. There's rules if you don't want to be, destroyed from the Zut. There's or people who look like al-Zutt. We have like a Samardi who said that it's Hasan Gharib, which is like a very good grading. He says that this is like above, like it's a superior grading to just Hasan. It's Hasan Gharib, like on its own level. So it's a really authentic grading, really trustworthy thing. And like I said, you can find scholars saying it's weak, and you can find a lot of scholars saying it's strong. And so for anyone that Muslims want to point out that it's weak, we can show that some saying that it's strong. It just goes to show like the contradictory nature of the bad nature of this science that they have, where you can find one guy saying it's weak, one guy saying it's strong. But there's a lot of them that say as well, like, like it's the chain is authentic. Ahmed Shakir, for example, said the chain is authentic. He didn't say, oh, this is another night, or this is a contradiction to the other ones, or these are just jinn or something like that. And we already went over like what is the word like the riding mean? Like you have it in the Quran, chapter 16, verse 8, for example, like when it's about animals, like horses and mules, donkeys, etc. It talks about riding them in chapter 16, verse 8, chapter 40, verse 79 as well. Again, it talks about animals as well, or cattle, etc. Some animals that you can ride. Use the same word in Arabic, and different form but same word. And in terms of like is it like masculine, plural, whatever. So you can use it for like ships as well, like using it for like ships. So ships and animals, it means to ride. But when it comes to humans, it means intercourse. And there's a reference where even Ali said that a woman is mounted by a man. She's ridden by a man however he wishes, using the same word in Arabic. She's ridden by a man however he wishes. And it's kind of like invoking like the Quranic language, like where it says like, she's your, it's like a plow. You can kind of like, as you wish, you can have your way with her as you wish. He's using that same language, saying that you can ride her as you wish. So clearly it's talking about something sexual there. So that's the authenticity part, and then the language part. It just seems like it's I'm not convinced from the Muslim responses. I'm not convinced.
So this is yet another situation where you could look at everything and go, okay, well, we have a natural inclination to give the benefit of the doubt and to not, okay, here's what it sounds like. This is really bad. If there's another interpretation that's way nicer, maybe we give the benefit of the doubt and go with the nicer interpretation. You can't just like, why would it sounds bad? Muhammad goes out into the desert with Abdullah ibn Masud. He tells Ibn Masud, hey, stay behind that line. Man, you cross that line, you are going to be destroyed. Then Muhammad goes a stone's throw away. And then all these black men, and keep in mind, this is Abdullah ibn Masud, like giving his perspective off from a distance. And it's, they look like men of al-Zutt. Muslims, they're jinn. Okay, well, Abdullah ibn Masud says they look like men of al-Zutt, who were renowned for their sexual potency and so on. And then they rode Muhammad all night long. And again, when it's between human beings, you could say they're riding them like a horse or something like that, but as it's used between human beings, it refers to sex. Yeah. And then Muhammad comes. Oh, and then part we sometimes leave out was they sort of headed towards Abdullah ibn Masud at some point, and they started coming towards him, and it says, and so I sat down really quickly. It's like, why are you sitting down? If you think people are coming to attack you, wouldn't you want to be in there's no scenario where people are coming to attack me, and I like, oh, let me sit down on the ground.
Yeah.
It sounded like he's trying to cover his rear end, right? Like I'm sitting down on my rear end so that you guys don't have access to it. And then, of course, Muhammad, after being ridden all night long, comes out and comes back, and he's all in pain, having trouble walking because of the pain, and goes to sleep on Abdullah ibn Masud's lap. Yep. Everyone knows that sounds messed up.
Yeah, head on the lap. Yeah.
Head on the lap, which is exactly what he would do after those meetings with Diha al-Kalbi, who we would say was the angel Gabriel. He would get all tuckered out and fall asleep with his head on a guy's lap. And so these are the sorts of things that, you notice some patterns here. You notice some patterns here. You got a pattern there with the falling asleep on a guy's lap after whatever you were doing. You got the pattern with, no, that wasn't D. Al-Kalbi. That was the angel Gabriel. No, those aren't a bunch of men of al-Zutt. Those are jinn. You have those kinds of patterns there. But anyway, point is, it's pretty simple. This sounds really, really bad. It sounds messed up. That's why you guys flip out when we tell the story. You know it sounds bad. You know it. And so what do you want us to do about it? What you would normally say is, hey guys, we don't try to twist things, in the Bible and stuff like that. So, we always give you the benefit of the doubt. So, hey, be nice in your interpretations. Would be nice if you were able to say that. Instead, you are the biggest bunch of liars the world has ever seen. All you do is lie, 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 and then demand that we give the benefit of the doubt when things sound really, really messed up. It sounds like a really messed up story. All right. Well, sorry, we're done being nice and giving the benefit of the doubt. If we're talking to some nice Muslims who aren't lying scumbags and so on, happy to give the benefit of the doubt in those situations. If I was talking to a nice Muslim and he's like, what's up with this story of the men of al-Zutt? Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It sounds messed up. It sounds really messed up to me. But, okay, maybe it's jinn and Muhammad's just preaching and why he ends up in pain and pass out, that's just a mystery we don't know and stuff like that. But I wouldn't demand that this is the way to interpret the passage and stuff like that. But we're responding to Dawa guys and gave them plenty of fair warning. They refused to stop lying, and so you reap what you sow, guys. You reap what you sow. These are called consequences.
Yep.
Consequences. All right, guys, we're about done here. We can take these last couple super chats and head out. Let's see. Hey, Issa, thoughts on Zutt verse? Christian here. Personally, don't think it means for sure what David says it means. David, feel free to correct me. Yeah, you're wrong. It means exactly what I said it means.
David, feel free to correct me. You just go rewind the stream a little bit, and you'll get what we think about it.
Hey, this is funny. They're actually asking, like, hey, Issa, do you have an interpretation here? So, do you think it's made up, or do you think it was jinn, or what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
So, this is complex because the hadith are complex. I'm actually taking a class in hadith right now. So because it's a part of my master's program in Islamic studies. So you have to study Arabic, you have to study hadith and Quran and stuff like that. And the hadith are just really, really complex at best. There's a lot of forgeries, there's a lot of fabrications. Also, there's an injunction from the Prophet of Islam that says not to write down the hadith. You know what I mean? There's actually a tradition that states that. I'm sure, experts here know that, which is so wild because it's such a focal point within Islamic tradition, but it's actually, there's an injunction against it. And it probably makes sense because you have hadith like this that arise. You get what I mean? Like, this actually makes sense that there would be an injunction against these things. Also, it's I'm reading this text, and it's like saying you're not even supposed to revere, the Prophet of Islam to this extreme degree. And some people do. Some people see, it's weird, in some spiritual spaces, they see the Prophet of Islam basically like the big JC. Like, he's the beginning of time. It's like there's narratives like that. It's like basically the same story, but it's the Prophet of Islam instead of the big JC. So I think that is wild. You know what I mean? Like the Alpha Omega, like in the beginning, like the word is the Prophet of Islam instead of big JC, which I think is strange. It's a very interesting thing that there's a replacement there. But yeah, I think the hadith tradition is really complex, and any scholar knows this. And it's weird because the Muslim community has become hyper fixated on it, particularly Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. There's this hyper fixation on these narratives, and I think in your mockumentary, Islamicize Me, you kind of showcase that. You showcase where these traditions go, and it would have been interesting if we kind of brought that up to Junior, and say, this was already enacted. What happened when you drink poison and you eat 7 ajwa dates? This just doesn't work. And I think that's the problem. A lot of these traditions are just, they say all kinds of things. There's some traditions that are just overtly racist. They say, oh, it's a fabrication. But the weird thing that people do that I find problematic, certain Muslims, what they do is they're not interested in the content of the hadith. They're interested in the lineage of the hadith. I'm more interested in what the thing is actually saying. I don't really care about Sahih. Like, people are like, well, it was narrated properly. And I'm like, it could be the most repugnant, repulsive statement, but the chain is really good. Thus, that's true. And I'm like, what? Really? Is that what you want to go with? This really repugnant statement, but the chain is really good, so it's true. I kind of find that grotesque. That's a very grotesque thing. And what I think is going on here, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on the channel when you bring this up, it's like, you keep critiquing the Bible, which I always keep bringing this up. This is so stupid. I'm like, a Muslim attacking the Torah and the gospel, it's like shooting yourself in the foot. It's the dumbest thing, and I keep seeing it over and over again. I'm like, you're attacking yourself, man. You're slapping yourself. You're attacking yourself. You're attacking your own tradition in order, I guess, to insult Christians and Jews. I'm like, that's your goal? Like, it's really stupid. But the thing is that it's a deeply repugnant situation. But when you bring up this particular narrative, you're like, look at this thing. You're insulting us, and you're insulting our traditions. Look at this tradition. What do you think about this? And they're like, well, I'm going to give it it's like you see certain Muslim apologists doing, I'm going to give it the most charitable, most sweetest, most kindest position, but I'm going to give your position the worst. And I'm like, really? Like, you're really in bad faith. That's a really bad faith position. So I don't find it. I find what you're doing a completely fair game. I think it's a fair situation. You're like, look at this narrative. And a lot of ancient texts have what we might view as questionable stuff in this time, but it was a different time and they had different kinds of understandings. But I think the hadith tradition in and of itself is, how do I say it in a nice way, problematic. There's a lot of problematic things with it. So, yeah.
Oh, you muted David.
Certainly is problematic, as even Sheikh Yasser Qadi has admitted. Malik could be the handler to Duck Lips. Not sure what handler means. Issa, if you don't leave Islam and come to Jesus, that means when Jesus said, unless you believe that I am, you will die in your sins. Words of God.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
We actually have a couple of messages for Issa. Issa, do you not trust Jesus? Do you not trust he is God?
Wow.
Better get used to it, buddy. They're on you every time you show your face.
I'm glad you're sponsoring Dr. Wood. Thank you. That's a great thing. You're sponsoring Dr. Wood. I'm very appreciative of that.
We got Malik trying to put out a fire with jet fuel. That's what he does. Oh, let me just pour more gasoline on here. This will put it out.
There's a saying in Arabic where it's like they put on like the mascara and they make themselves blind. Like they're trying to beautify themselves, but they make themselves blind. Like your solution is not. In other words, your solution is not helping; it's hurting you.
And so Christian Talmud, Acta Conciliorium Ecumenicorum. And okay, so is that what we were talking about as far as if you put a big collection of debates on issues together? Okay, that might be interesting. Please poke Thaddeus. Recent answers to get him back in action. He went silent weeks ago. Oh yeah, he had a tech problem and was just waiting for some new stuff to come in. So I think he's going to be back in action here pretty soon. All right, guys. Well, the story of al-Zutt is spreading all around the world.
Yes.
It's being injected into every show there is. Muslims keep trying to stop the story, but other people just keep pounding and pounding and pounding away. And it's just too late, guys. It's too late. There's no stopping this now. There's no stopping this. This isn't going to be all night long. This is going to be all year long and all next year long and all next year long and all next year long. And it's just weird. It's just weird trying to teach people a lesson when they seem incapable of ever getting any point. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's like they'll lose their minds and they'll flip out and they throw all these tantrums and put out all these responses. And it's like, if you did not have this horrible behavior, you wouldn't be having to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
And it's like they want to keep the horrible behavior and not have the consequences of the horrible behavior. Sorry, guys. We don't live in that world anymore. There are these little things called consequences. That's just life. All right. Final thoughts on all this, Jai. Again, I'm sure we'll be revisiting this story here pretty soon. Now there's on Alex Jones. Maybe some more people are going to pick up on this and so on.
Yeah, hopefully we see some response from some Dawa guys, and we'll respond back, see what they got to say. Maybe they'll come up with some new answer that we haven't heard before. But this is this is like the stuff that we see in the Islamic sources, this kind of like filth and disgusting stuff. And it just makes you wonder how anyone can see this and read it and believe it and still stay a Muslim. And so there's a lot of Muslims who will watch and they don't comment, they don't debate, they just watch, pray for them, pray for all of them. But like those guys who are just watching, especially not in the Ibn Masud sense, but those guys who are they're just watching and they're trying to kind of figure out the truth. Pray for those guys. Pray for all the Muslims. We pray for all of their salvation. Our friend Issa as well, pray for him as well. But we really, these guys who are just watching, we hope that they will get off the fence and come to Jesus.
And Issa, I'm sure you want to tell us all about how Bassem Youssef is the greatest comedian of all time and that everyone should agree with him on everything.
He's definitely funny. There's a lot. He's got a good routine. But I do thank Jai for his prayer. I appreciate that. I think what was interesting about this is I didn't know that Alex Jones was still like, I thought InfoWars was kind of shut down because of the situation with the Sandy Hook. I didn't know that he was still functional. So that was kind of interesting when I saw that was the thumbtag. Is he, where is he, what is he doing now? What's his media now, if you don't mind me asking? Is he just on X or?
We were just sent the link.
Rumble.
You were sent the link.
Yeah, Rumble, I think, right?
Yeah.
Rumble and X, and then his own platform and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and I think you're the one who popularized this. I think a lot of Muslims need to go and look at these texts and have humility. There's an Arabic word, and I'm sure both of you know it. It's haya, modesty. I wish Muslims had more modesty and more kind of good character, akhlaq, but it's kind of lacking. I just see, like, when I saw those posts, I'm like, you're just arrogant and egotistical. Instead of just being like, yeah, this is hard. It's a problematic verse. I'm not sure what to do with it. I think that would have been a better response. Instead of getting angry and combative, just be like, okay, this is a difficult thing and we need to figure out how to navigate. That's what an honest person does, and says, I don't know. I mean, that it does seem problematic. Looking at different interpretations of it, but come with humility. Don't come with arrogance and hubris. I think that's the problem I see with a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of arrogance and hubris, and instead of like having that's the biggest thing in my life. It's this word called accountability, holding myself accountable. I think that's what would be a value for people, is to have accountability and just be like, in my tradition, there might be some complex stuff. I've done a lot of interfaith work, so that this is stuff that you deal with in interfaith. Like, you have to engage the problematic stuff that is in, people's traditions. Like, that's a part of the conversation and figure out how to navigate that. But like, it's really bizarre because a lot of these people, it's just arrogance. Like, that's what I saw. They're like, instead of actually engaging it, they're like, well, nuh-uh. They sound like a child on the playground, like a child bully, and they're like, nuh-uh, your thing's bad. Your thing's bad. Look at Cherubim. Look at this book. It's so bad. I'm like, but the stupid thing is, it's a very dumb bully. It's not just a bully. It's a very stupid bully, where the bully is like punching themselves. And they're attacking their own scriptures, and I'm like, I'm sitting here in awe. And I'm like, did you really think you won with that? You know, you got mad, you screamed, and then you slapped yourself, and then you think that was great. And I'm like, people with, I don't know, I'm not a smart person, but I think just a little bit of intelligence, you see this, you're like, wow, I'm floored by this madness. And I'm embarrassed, and that's really all I can say.
So everyone watching, you Muslims, you Dawa guys, you can either heed Issa's words of wisdom, or you can keep thumping your chest and running your mouth at everyone and lying and threatening and doxing and everything else, and see where that gets you and your book and your prophet. Only one way to find out, am I right? Catch y'all later.